Hello and welcome to Culture Shocked, the pop culture podcast brought to you by four aging millennials and our outdated opinions. And this podcast is all about family.
This podcast cost me my family.
They will always be your priority, your responsibility. And a man provides, and he does it even when he's not appreciated or respected or even loved. He simply bears up and he does it because he's a man, Walter. I'm Doug.
I've got dipping sticks. I'm Corey.
I'm Mike, and I fucked Ted.
All right, guys. So basically, there's no short way to do this intro. I guess what I'd want to say is...
You have 1 minute.
Well, fuck. So if any of you guys have listened to our introductory television episode or either of our first two seasons of this show, you know collectively this is perhaps our favorite show of all time. That has maybe changed for some of my fellow co-hosts since we did that episode. I don't know. But we all are massive fans of Breaking Bad. We've talked about season 1 with the sad hand jobs in Tuco. We've talked about season 2 with crushing heads with ATMs. And today it's all about season 3.
There's a little less sad hand job in this one.
Yeah, a better spirited hand job by Skylar's sister.
Okay.
He said, okay. So, guys, without further ado, let's get into Breaking Bad Season 3. All right, so today we're going to be talking all about Breaking Bad Season 3. As much as we all love this show, you know, we figured we couldn't do it justice by one episode. So we wanted to break it down, talk about it season by season. And since one of our esteemed co-hosts couldn't join us for season 2, I'm going to start off here with Doug. Doug, just in like 90 minutes, give us your thoughts on season 2.
Well, if I had to start from the begining, Adrian.
Doug, you only have 1 minute.
You have 1 minute.
And that's how cornmeal was made.
Anyway.
Your eyes.
I liked season 2 quite a bit. Like, season 1 was like a beautiful slow burn that was very tense and dramatic. It wrestled with like Walt's like struggle to like do what he's got to do and realize the world he's getting into. And season 2 just took that and fucking cranked up all the action. Straight, like, Tuco basically single-handedly did that. That dude was fucking... Kicks like a fucking shotgun. a six game.
Tuco fucks.
Yeah, this kicks like a fucking mule with its balls wrapped in duct tape.
Yeah, there's chili powder in there. Beats him with a sack of money.
Yes, he
We
does.
mentioned it when we did our season 2 episode. The guy who played Tuco was fucking amazing.
Yeah,
Raymond Cruz.
But yeah, and it just like the show just exploded. It was like fucking the first episode. The first season was like they set up a fireworks display. In season 2, it all went off. Really, like it fucking just took the show in a whole new route.
Yeah.
And we got an idea of what was going to be coming down the road. I enjoy it. I don't even want to say better or worse than season 1. I don't want to have to. Did you guys do that? Did you say?
I don't
think we did.
Not
All
sure.
right.
It's something we may do at the end of season 5. I'm
Let's
not sure.
be real. Each season is better than the last.
Not necessarily true. Well, are you counting 5A and 5B, or are you just counting season 5 as a whole?
It's one season.
Not if you buy them on DVD.
Trust
Bastards.
Me, I fucked my hand up because I punched my wall when they made the announcement they were splitting it up. Had to go to the hospital.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I was upset. Anyway, but I fucking love Tuco. Tuco's great character. Fucking Walt really starts to pick shit up when it was the end of season 1 when he did the fulminated mercury, right?
Right.
Okay, so he had already like cranked his shit up and accepted what was gonna go down from there.
Yeah.
He got in over his head with Tuco because he thought that was something he could manipulate like Jesse, and he learned real fast that this world is a very big fucking ocean.
Yeah.
It was a reality check that he needed. Without that, I don't think he would have been able to handle his shit going forward.
Probably not.
And like, there's not really much to say. I was really caught off guard by Hank's reaction to the shootout. Gonna be honest.
Meaning what?
He kind of got like fucked up.
The PTSD
it fucked
and
him
shit
up.
from
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Like
afterwards.
I never thought he'd be that kind of guy. Like,
Well,
he
is
seems
that-
like he was like ready for all that shit.
Is that the first person he actually killed, or?
I don't think it really says, but they did give him the grill, so I'm assuming maybe that was a gift because it was his first kill. I don't know.
it was such a major player, but I think he was just so caught off guard by the situation. He wasn't prepared for it.
It was
He didn't,
because he wasn't going there to arrest anybody or fight.
he was just
And he was
following
there
a car.
alone in his civilian clothes.
He's looking for his brother.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he did not expect Tuco Salamanca to walk up with when he was following fucking that shit stained Jesse.
Yeah, because he
his
gets out of his vehicle and he says, "Jesse Pinkman, you're a hard man to find."
And Tuco Salamanca walks
And Hank's
up.
eyes get about this fucking big.
Yeah, he was not prepared for that.
Right.
And then Walt goes with the fucking. He's like walking through walking naked into the store and shit. There was
The fugue state.
Yeah, the fugue state.
The fugue state. Perhaps I smoked him in a fugue state, Walt.
But yeah, like I think the show just really kicked into high gear. It took it from like a pure drama to like there's gonna be action going forward, and
Yes.
For sure.
stakes are higher.
Stakes
But
are higher.
Yeah, I enjoy season 2 quite a bit.
We don't really get foreshadowing in the show other than season 5, obviously, with like Walt with the hair and the beard in episode 1. But season 2 was like the really only season to do that with 737 down over ABQ. Any thoughts on like the black and white scenes? Did you like that direction, like something different?
I'm a massive fan of like the the way they do handle the intros and tell like another story throughout the seasons with them.
Right.
Fucking the 737 down. What was the open for that one? Was that
That was the teddy bear with like the black and white.
Yeah, like the payoff for that doesn't even come until we do the next episode. So
Yeah, it doesn't come till the last episode of the season.
yeah,
It's just so weird that that exact teddy bear is painted on the wall.
and I never caught that. I never caught that. But yeah, I love the teddy bear. I think that's probably my favorite foreshadowing moment in the entire series.
Okay, yeah.
Once you realize what it is, the payoff is just like, I can't believe they had this so meticulously planned. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, it was definitely something different they tried with that season. Like I said, it was the only time they really tried that. And, there were some people that were disappointed by the payoff by the end of the season. So I don't know why. Some people were expecting like a cartel shootout at the White House or like a meth explosion like in his basement or something.
What they think, like fucking Rick from Rick and Morty was going to come through a portal and
Apparently,
take him out? That'd be kind of cool.
Do you guys think Rick is Hank?
Hank is not that cool? Anyway,
do you think Rick is Hank? Well, not knowing Rick enough, I would say yes.
Rick doesn't get PTSD.
Morty is more Hank than Rick is.
Rick gets internal PTSD. He still has it.
Anyway,
I'm probably the least like Hank. Out of all 4 of us, you guys all like Hank more than I do. I'm at least at this point in the show.
as I, said, I
real with
hated
you.
it. I hated him in the first season.
Oh, yeah.
I start coming around on him in this season, the third one.
I didn't really hate him. I kind of hated what a pushover Walt was in the first season.
Well, so Doug, I think at this point you like him more than all of us do because we hated him in season.
Oh yeah, I didn't realize. Yeah, I fucking hate characters like Walter White before he like grew a pair of balls. Like I can't.
I just hate people like how Hank is in the first season.
I hate pushovers.
His whole frat bro attitude.
His old fat bow.
I mean, he was pretty fat.
So Doug,
Pussy Walt.
so to let you know what kind of Doug person is, he hates Walt when he's like a family man and he loves him like the more he
No,
gets in
that is
Heisenberg.
not. That is.
Nope,
can
nope.
be-
I'm editing it till it sounds like it.
All right, fine. Fuck family, man.
Fuck family.
Fuck families. Fuck children. Fuck
my
Family
God.
Guy.
Family's the F word.
F is for
Fucking-
family.
Never seen it.
No, that was a Deadpool joke.
Never seen it. No, I'm joking.
Never seen it. Is that
What
like
is this,
Is that like a
Deadpool?
wager for somebody dying?
Yeah.
Oh,
A Deadpool.
It's a Deadpool.
Hey, you guys want to take a Deadpool in the 4 of us? First one dead. Who's it going to be?
But yeah,
It's gonna be me.
season 2.
Corey
pretty
raised
fun
his
time.
hand.
I'm having surgery on the 1st. That's definitely me.
Wait, you are?
Yep.
On what?
A vasectomy.
Oh, wait, you're going to die by a
Probably
vasectomy?
smart.
Yep.
Smart.
And to hear more about that, you won't.
Yeah, you won't.
I'll record it.
I've thought about getting one just so I can never have kids.
Just so you know for sure. Or
That I
you're
can never have
99% sure.
Yeah. Well, it better be 100 if they're clipping the fucking cord.
Yeah, follow us on Culture Shock Podcast if you want to see pictures from
If you
Corey's
take the
surgery.
venom on a snake, all you have is a belt.
It's less of a snake and more of like a little snail.
Garter snake.
Oh, wait.
It kind of looks like a worm with a German soldier's helmet on it.
For some reason, it curls really hard to the left.
At least you said German and not Vietnamese.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Weird looking
Okay.
dick.
so we got Doug's general thoughts on season 2. Now, Mike, I don't know
Yeah.
if this might be the first time on air. Maybe we mentioned it in season 2 or season 1. I'm not sure at this point. But you are famous within our little friend group for being the guy who quit on Breaking Bad in season 3. I think you were how many episodes into the third season?
shame him. Everybody
watched-
shame him.
Shame.
Go to CS Podcast 21 at Twitter and tell us why Mike should be shamed for it.
Doug, let's do the Bloodborne. Shame.
I watched No Mas and I watched Caballos in I can't say that. I can't speak Spanish.
Caballo sin nombre.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you.
A horse with no name.
I watched those 2 episodes, and they're aside from like some minor moments that I kind of was like, oh, that's that's cool. Like obviously, like Walt's, I love Walt's speech at the school,
Of course. Very inspirational.
and is it the second episode where he flips out on that policeman, or is that the first episode?
That's the first episode where he gets pulled over.
Yeah.
Hellfire rained on my home.
Yeah.
where
I love
my
that moment too. So
children
the first episode actually I enjoyed more than the second one.
Yeah.
But my first watch through, I think the second episode just drug on so long that I kind of got burnt out for a bit,
Okay. Did you?
and I was like,
It drug
you know,
on for almost 45 minutes.
I stopped watching for a little. I was like, all right, I'll come back to that, and then I just never did
Right.
until we all got together to start talking about doing this podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, you know what? I'll give it another chance. And all I had to do was watch one more fucking episode.
Like I said, you were like that guy in the meme where you're like digging through the tunnel and you stop and turn around when it's like this much wall left.
Yep. Yeah, because I think episode 3 of season 3 is pretty much when it kicks up a notch, and then from there it's just constant for me.
So you're all about the IFT.
Absolutely.
IFT is really where this show takes off.
Once Skylar committed adultery, that's when I was locked in.
See, Mike hates love, so well, that really fits with your little character we've made for you.
It all makes sense now.
She said, "Walter, what the hell are you doing in there?" "I'm back." "No, you're not back."
I
Fucking
will
love
kill your dicks.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah, and if in case you weren't listening, you should probably take that as a red flag and run.
Insert name here.
I played off course.
Insert name.
Yeah. In case you're not listening, Mike's current girlfriend.
Wow.
Oh, Mike called her queen. That's nice.
Don't get that tattooed on your
I
neck.
have Mike saying Tom Brady in a voice recording. We just put that there.
Tom Brady is awesome.
Is a
Mike's
queen.
current girlfriend.
I mean,
Brady.
Tom Brady is currently 2-0 since he got divorced.
Yeah, that's true. Tom Brady is a queen.
But that's also true.
No, but, talking about some of those moments with season 3, with, Corey, your little intro there was the dipping sticks, of course,
Yeah.
the famous pizza scene.
Oh, yeah.
You have Walt forcing his way into the house and him getting pepper sprayed. I think what the beginning of this season does so well is, I'm sure you guys will back me up on this, the end of season 2 is so fucking dark and depressing. Like, after Jane chokes to death, like, ABQ is so fucking hard to watch with Jesse in that trap house and Walt, like, having to come get him and Jesse blaming himself for her death. I think that fucking, that episode in the end of season 2 was so left on such a down and depressing note. I think they brought back some of this, like, black comedy here for the beginning of season 3.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it was much needed for, like, a little tonal shift.
Yeah. That's a bit of a big tragedy to end a season 2 airplanes crashing into each other.
Yeah.
No, that's fine.
If you're the cast of Lost, it's fine.
Well, Corey, when we do our 2-man on that series, since these plebeians won't watch,
I will
Such a-
talk about Lost all day long.
it's so fun.
Listen, if I get on an episode, I'm just going to be lost.
I see what you did there.
The shadow monster would take you first, Mike. Don't worry.
That sounds awesome.
You'd be wrong.
You'd be very wrong.
I mean, Shadow Monster does sound pretty cool.
It's a cold gamer handle. It's not.
Yeah, there you go.
I call my dick the shadow monster.
No, this is right. It can't get no righter.
Nobody stands in my dick shadow.
Nobody. Yeah, I think the only thing missing from Breaking Bad season 3 was wait, I'm a
Dick
Dick Shadow. Wait, what was it? A shadow monster?
Dick.
Shadow monster.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Shadow the Hedgehog. But anyway, yeah, Breaking Bad season 3.
All right.
Yeah, it kind of the first couple episodes. Mike, I would take your point about it starting a little bit slow, and I would say it actually takes even a little bit longer to build. Although I love season 3, I'm on board with all the family stuff and the broken marriage. I don't think it's what people come to the show for, but
I wanted to see Walt kill some motherfuckers.
right. But the first couple episodes, I think, obviously, it is more focused on like his broken family.
This isn't John Wick.
If Walt would have had a dog, that would have been a very different series.
Walt might have been a better person if he had a dog.
Although,
Fuck no.
Bob Odenkirk is in a movie that's basically John Wick called Nobody.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
fucking phenomenal.
I gotta watch that. I've seen the bus scene though.
And Bob Odenkirk is obsessed with his dog and How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
right.
And guess what, Mike? He had a dog and he was a horrible human being. You just prove your
No,
you just
Artillery
fucking
Arthur was
argue your
amazing.
own
He's
point.
just
I even lost
misunderstood.
out on custody
Yeah.
with the kids. I got full custody.
Tugboat.
Yeah, fuck.
I got nothing left to give you,
My bad.
Charlene.
Bob Odenkirk is a genius.
Yeah, Bob Odenkirk is
Yeah.
great.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely.
I would recommend you guys watch a little show called Better Call Saul.
We got time. We got time.
We got
At the rate
plenty
that
of-
we're going, getting these fucking episodes out. We'll have to record this a third time.
By the time we get all these seasons out, the Better Call Mike will be done.
Better Call Mike. Walter.
It was one
Oh, that-
episode. It was just a funeral.
Aw.
They can't call Mike.
Goddamn.
I can't call Grandpa anymore.
It's
Aw, Kaylee.
it's the Winchester boys summoning him back. They go on
Nah.
adventures with Mike Armitage.
Oh wait, I can't.
Is that
tell you the
supernatural?
ending.
Yeah.
I can't tell you the ending. of
Sounds like a supernatural thing.
Yeah, it's
I'm on board with that.
I can tell none of you have seen the finale.
Yeah, Better Call Mike. They just
I've only seen into season 5.
season 5. Isn't there like 30 seasons?
There's 10 more to go.
There's 15.
Yeah, there's 15 seasons.
Holy fuck!
I finished it finally. It's over.
It should have ended after season 4. A lot of people say it should have ended after season 4, but
They
like,
never
got
made
better
it to
again.
the Scooby Doo episode, so I don't give a fuck.
That
I've actually
episode's
seen
great.
that episode.
It's top tier. Back to the topic at hand. Adrian, you gotta like yell. And
No,
be
I'm
like,
just,
shut
I'm
the fuck
just
up.
I'm letting
Brandon.
you guys get it out of your system.
Why?
It's
are all
fine.
these people on my fingers. Why did I go to Jerry Seinfeld?
Hey, I'm keeping that in. Doug loves Seinfeld. Doug loves
Well, now you're
Seinfeld.
going to have to keep the whole thing in.
No, I'll just go right to that. What?
Seinfeld is the best show ever.
Wait, but
Doug,
you,
you didn't even have to do that robotic. You just said it.
So, Breaking Bad season 3.
Yeah, so Breaking Bad season 3. I could see, although we give Mike shit for falling off of it, his first watch through, I could see where the beginning of season 3 might lose some people if
Don't
you're.
defend that.
No, I see it. I'm saying this for anyone who. I think the cousins were put in very deliberately, Tuco's cousins, because they
Dude.
knew the first half of season 3 was going to be. It's deliberately paced. It's a
How
slow
are
burn.
you not
Okay,
hooked
listen.
when the crawling of the cousins begin? That's
Fuck
like the
that. That was
greatest
so
event in
stupid.
That's the
history of
first scene
television.
of the first episode.
I hated that so much. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
You just don't understand other cultures. Try to become more worldly.
I hated that almost as much as I hated the fucking song they did in season 2.
Oh, you did hate that song, the Ballad of Heisenberg.
So no, you know what? We were talking about the stupid cousin scrawl.
Stupid.
It's so stupid.
No, so
They just show up and
Mike,
suddenly
you
they get
can't
down
just
and they start
disparage
crawling.
other cultures because you don't understand them.
It was 100% pointless to show that.
no, it wasn't. They had the picture
No,
of
it
Heisenberg.
totally made sense.
Yeah, they were going.
Okay, they could have showed the picture of Heisenberg and then be done with it. They didn't have to fucking start crawling. We didn't have to see that.
It was the middle of a cultural event. They couldn't just disrespect
oh
it.
my God.
God damn it, Mike.
Because we have no heritage to be proud
We talk
of.
about how amazing Vince Gilligan is about, nothing is wasted. That was wasted.
No, Mike, America. Look, yeah, like Doug said, we steal other heritage, so we have nothing to be proud
We
of.
have
But
we
other,
have no cultural heritage.
other
so we
cultures-
just don't understand. it.
You know what Americans have? We are cynical motherfuckers. So I'm proud of that.
You know what we have? We murdered our way across this continent and claimed it for our own, and then shoved all the natives into a desert and gave them a casino.
No,
That's because
America,
we're awesome.
baby.
wait.
Oh.
By the way, late Happy Veterans Day.
you guys are completely wrong. We're all very tolerant and understanding of other cultures here in America.
Canada, please take me and Corey.
That's just true.
I'll move tomorrow.
Yeah, in our Game of Thrones episode, we shit on the U.S. like 5 times and kept saying, Canada, please adopt us.
No, but Mike, to talk about the cousins, I can see where you think the scene is wasted, but listen, to this point, we hadn't really dove into the cartel. We hadn't been to Mexico. Obviously, we would go to recognize this yellow filter they use throughout the show, meaning they're in Mexico, but we didn't know that yet.
So their idea to show that was them crawling on the ground?
It's because it's something they do in their culture, you son of a bitch.
Mike,
what are you not getting?
You're really not getting this.
I don't get it.
That's very clear.
Oh, hey, Mike, if we shifted them 1 inch to the left, would it make more sense?
Then,
Hold on, let me think about it.
okay.
Oh my god,
I was
yes.
gonna say, do it in your head canon. Season 3, kind of a slow burn. I think it's very deliberately paced. They do it this way on purpose because this season is just a fucking build. Whenever we get to sunset, I think is when this show is pretty much nonstop from sunset, maybe till the series finale.
Well, there's an episode between there and the series finale that's amazing, but not really like fast
if you
paced.
ever talk about Fly That Way again, I'll stab you.
It's not fast paced.
It is so fast paced. You see how fast Walt falls to the floor when.
Listen, that is my favorite episode of this season. It's not fast paced by any means.
It goes through like 12 hours in that lab in 45 minutes. Not fast paced.
Whoa, yeah.
All right, you know what? You got me.
Mike, they're crawling on the ground.
Hey, Mike, flies can fly up to 5 miles per hour. That is lightning.
What?
He said, I don't even understand that.
Here at Culture Shock, we give you the true scientific
I
facts.
looked it up.
That,
It is
that is
actually true.
fast.
But is it as fast as lightning?
No,
That's what you said.
You said that's lightning.
it's hyperbolic.
No, that's Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, that's Dragon Ball Z. So the cousins, I think, they serve a very specific purpose in the first half of the season. I think a lot of the other focus, you don't have Walt and Jesse. You have them kind of out of commission. Jesse's in rehab. He's all fucked up from Jane passing away. Walt's trying to get out of the business. He wants his family back. Or does he? but or does he? But
He's got dipping sticks.
God damn it, Mike. Shut the fuck up. Yeah, the first like 4 to 5 episodes of the season with all the other characters working on their shit. You have Hank also working through his traumas and his PTSD. I think the cousins do serve a specific purpose of kind of being that tension and that action and that, oh, fuck, these guys are killing people. Because you're not really seeing it anywhere else. So I think the cousins were a good choice to have at the beginning of the season. Obviously, they get killed halfway through, and by no coincidence, that's when the rest of the show starts picking up.
That's such a fucking badass scene, too.
Oh, yeah, like when the shootout.
That's probably when I start liking Hank.
Oh, hell yeah.
Well, that was a very badass moment.
Because you're like, wow, Hank's actually a badass.
Yeah, and if you want to see the face of a man that's about to murder people, just look at Hank's face when he gets the call from Marie and she's fine. Like,
Oh, yeah. And then he goes and fucking beats the shit out of Jesse.
right. Oh, my God.
No, we kind of went into that. Do you guys feel he was justified for doing that or no?
Yeah, that was definitely really fucked up because at that moment, the only thing he knows is that Jesse knew all that information about Hank. He knew his wife's name, his wife's number. He knew how to get him out of there. That's fucked up. And
that's what's fucked. I don't think the actual what Walt and Jesse did, they didn't hurt Marie, they didn't put her in danger. I don't think what they did necessarily was fucked up, but the fact that Hank doesn't know Walt's involved, so this strange person knows Marie's information.
Yeah.
That's fucked.
What's more fucked is the one who actually fucking made the call. It was Walt.
Well, no, it was
No.
Jesse.
No.
It wasn't
Right?
Walt
Jesse
at all.
made the call and Walt
It was
like,
Saul's secretary.
Oh, that's true.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was Walt's idea. Right?
It was Walt's idea.
Yeah.
Right.
How much do you think Saul paid that secretary to get away with her?
Oh,
to
shit.
Never flip or
She
get
probably
away
got
with
paid a lot.
Yeah, so you're gonna have to start paying me more.
You don't be a secretary for a guy like that if you're not getting paid a lot.
Right.
Hey, flipping Jimmy does no wrong.
You don't employ a secretary like that without paying her.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Francesca. Well, damn it, I can't say anything. That's another fucking Better Call Saul thing.
Yeah, we'll
That's
keep
another right. Yeah, so no, I think the cousins were put in there for a good reason. I think we talked about this last time. Obviously, we're re-recording, but I always have such a hard time like remembering that these cousins are only in half of one of these seasons. Like to me, they feel like such big players, like throughout the
They're
entirety of the
mentioned
show.
throughout the second season. So they feel a little bigger. You're waiting for them to get there when he has them kidnapped at Hector's ranch.
And they're kind of fucking terrifying and good at what they do. Let's not
Yeah, they are.
pretend like they weren't about to take the MC right out of the show. And they were so patient. They were gonna let him finish showering even.
When you're a killer like that, I feel like you got to be patient.
Yeah, they were literally just.
It's all about
Well,
knowing when to pick your right time.
If they had gone in and done it while he was in the shower, they would have got sued by Hitchcock, so they had to wait.
As long as they didn't like spray fucking like chocolate sauce, I think they would have been fine.
Well, in black and white, that's
You
fine.
can get away with that in black and white.
I mean, I agree with you. I do agree with you that they were necessary to try to keep people from getting burned out on the show, I suppose, because there is a lot of weird family bullshit in the first couple episodes that nobody really gives a shit about.
Yeah, there's a certain like group of fans that they know what they're here to watch, and if you don't have the cousins, you might have lost a lot more people.
It's true.
Not me personally, but
No,
I mean,
I
I
liked all
think
the
I think I
family
still would have
drama
made
and
it
shit.
through the show without the cousins, because, like I said, that the very first time you see him kind of threw me off. But
you loved it.
I also
clearly it threw you off.
In my defense, I didn't know that was a culture thing. I just was like, why the fuck are these guys crawling?
What did you think they were in Denver?
No.
Isn't that how you tribute fucking John Elway when you go to Denver?
You crawl to the
Sometimes
Rockies.
guys' ignorance is
Like
bliss.
his enemies?
Mike, so you didn't know they did that in their culture. Would you say you got culture shocked?
Oh shit!
Roll credits.
Oh shit, roll credits.
Cue the music.
Wait, that's the A-Team. That's not ours at all.
Dun, dun, dun.
No.
God, we are awful at this.
Dun, dun, dun. Dun, dun, dun. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Why do I know that music so well?
Bum, bum, ba-da-da. Bum, bum, ba-da-da.
No, Mike,
Oh,
that's
wait,
football.
That's Fox. That's Fox Sports.
I know why you know that one so well.
That's what this podcast is.
Circus. Britney Spears album?
So
toxic.
yeah, but I agree that the cousins were pretty badass. That scene when they're in their or in
Did
Walt's
you just
house.
flip flop on the cousin?
No, I always liked them. I just with the very first scene I saw them,
They
I
didn't
was
wear
just like,
flip flops.
what
They
the fuck?
wore snake boots.
I think that's a culture thing.
They wore shoes with these really weird skeleton.
Yeah, they wore
things on them.
skull tip boots.
Yeah.
No,
That's what it
Mike.
was, yeah.
Mike likes the cousins for some reason. He just hates the act of crawling.
That fucking yeah. You don't understand.
Mike, are you still not over Chester Bennington?
His least favorite song on that first album is "Crawl."
Listen, when my kids were too young to walk, I was throwing shit at them all the time. Like, fucking walk! Why are you crawling?
Why are you crawling? Don't be stupid.
I don't get this crawling shit.
Do not invite Mike to when you have a baby.
He will throw
Why is
things
your
at
baby
them.
stupid right now? Why is it still crawling?
Get up! You're just screaming in their ear. Oh shit. Yeah. Mike loved Hybrid Theory, except crawling. Was crawling in Hybrid Theory, or was it in the next
Yeah,
one?
hybrid theory. Yeah.
Crawling was track 5.
Track
of Hybrid
5.
Theory.
Yep.
Anywho, Mike being there outside watching everything going down, he fucking calls Gus up. He's like, "Yo, or is it Gus or is it Saul that he calls up?"
Mike calls Gus because Gus sends
Gus.
the text for Poyos.
Yes, and and like Mike's like, "Yeah, we got a problem," and it goes to show you how much fucking power Gus actually has.
Yeah, that was kind of the moment in the series where, like, because the end of season 2, he's just like this guy with money bags to give Walt.
Yeah.
You don't know what a player he is, like, in the drug world.
And then, of course, oh my God, when he fucking turns them from Walt to Hank, by being like, I can give you the name of the man that killed him.
But then he calls Hank to
Who
warn
you
him.
gonna call?
Yeah.
Hank.
That
Traitor.
Ghostbusters?
that was the whole thing. Like, there's questions I have in the season that people don't really address, but then they ask like the more obvious ones. Like I was just searching like random, season 3 questions people have, and everyone's like, well, who called Hank? It's like, I think it seems pretty fucking obvious if you watch the whole season.
I mean, it sounds like Gus. I mean, it doesn't even.
Well, Walt also brings that up to him.
Yeah, it doesn't specifically even have to be Gus, but whether it's Gus or it's Mike or it's Victor, like it's Gus's people. I don't know why it's such a big deal if it was Gus directly or if it was fucking Victor. Like it was somebody working
Gus
for
wouldn't
Gus.
do that himself. Yeah.
I doubt. Yeah, he would make the call himself.
It sounded pretty close to Gus's voice,
I'd have to listen to it again, but
I could be wrong. I probably am.
I don't think Gus would have been dumb enough to call a DEA agent with his own voice.
Yeah, especially after he visits them.
Yeah.
He was way too smart for that.
That's one of the main things about this season, with Gus and the similarities between Gus and Walt hiding in plain sight.
Yeah.
Gus was a little better at it.
oh, for sure.
That's because Walt accidentally fell into hiding the right way.
I was gonna say Walt just started, whereas Hank had been doing it for a while.
Gus.
Gus had control of his emotions.
Yeah.
Let's be honest.
What'd I say?
Hank. He said what I say. No, let's be honest. Gus was pretty much better than Walt at every facet of this business.
I think that's the only character in the entire series. Walt says, I have the utmost respect for you.
Yeah.
I mean, we will get to there, but obviously, eventually, Walt outsmarts Gus. So,
One of the greatest entire seasons of a chess match ever.
oh my god, that fucking when he finally gets him,
And then Walt
That
gets
scene.
outsmarted by rednecks.
Sure does.
yeah,
Well, Walt gets outsmarted by Hank and Jesse. He fucks himself by calling the rednecks.
yeah. Well, that's because Walt started treating Jesse like a piece. Well, he's always kind of treated him like
Yeah.
a
Wrong
piece.
season.
Yeah, we'll get there. Yeah, fuck. So we've kind of been all over the place. I wanted to start like the early season stuff, like before shit gets crazy. I wanted to
Just
talk.
go into it now.
Yeah, Mike. Obviously, you talked about Walt's speech a little bit at the school.
I love that speech.
Yeah, the beginning of this season was, Walt. He took a lot of L's. You had him getting pepper sprayed, which was hilarious, but that was,
I mean, he was in a fugue state.
he was.
I think when that
At
happened,
that time, he was.
I think when that happened, when he was screaming at that cop, he was slightly starting to feel a little invincible, and he didn't think anything would happen to him.
Yeah, it was like a mix of that and obviously his wife just left him, so he's probably in a real bad place.
He just needed somebody, and that was the first person that he could blow up on.
to lash out on.
Yep.
Yeah, but like between him getting pepper sprayed, his speech, hitting on Carmen, which was cringy as hell.
Yeah, it was. It was weird.
yeah.
Walt, what are you doing?
Should I call Skylar? Let's just keep this between us.
That's
Bow chicka bow wow.
Yeah,
Walt,
but
you're
no.
not as cool as you think you are.
That's the thing too. Walt thinks he's real smooth. No, but the speech, the high school speech, to me, as funny as it is, it's kind of set up to be a humorous scene. Really, just I think it does a good job, like really putting on display two of Walt's biggest like character attributes through the entire show. One, he knows I'm not saying he's fully responsible for the plane accident, but he played a big part in it.
He was definitely talking himself into feeling like he didn't have the blame.
Yeah, it's kind of like how he always tries to justify all of his actions.
I
And
don't
then
remember
B,
him being an air traffic controlled man.
I actually have to agree with Doug on this one. Like,
you think Walt plays
He
no part
really-
in that?
why
didn't-
did he give her the drugs?
All he did was not flip her over. He
Yeah.
didn't touch her or do anything.
If he had,
He flipped her on her
let me-
back. She would not have choked on her vomit if he wasn't
No,
there.
I thought he went to help her and then
No,
stopped.
he went to her. No, he didn't move her.
He shook Jesse and she fell.
He shook Jesse, and
Yeah,
she
but-
rolled over onto her
Yeah,
back.
but he didn't move her.
It
yeah.
doesn't matter.
Maybe she wouldn't have choked her and vomit. She wasn't a heroin addict.
Well, no, I'm not. That's you're perfectly right.
No, this is exactly what I'm going to say. Okay, I can understand where you might say Walt has a little bit to blame there, but he didn't give her the drugs. If he hadn't even showed up when he did, she would have died anyway.
She would be alive.
Like, well,
She'd
I
be
don't-
alive.
You don't know
She'd
that.
be alive.
She could have moved and she could have
Mike,
moved and rolled
you
over onto her
also
back
don't
on
know
her own.
your theory.
Yeah,
Okay, but you can't say it's Walt's fault. Like he had
he played a part in it.
He
I didn't
really
say.
did enough heroin to overdose.
I didn't say it was Walt's fault. I never said that. I said he played a part in it, and he did. The same way Jesse did, the same way Jane did,
But
the same way her dad did.
at the end of the day, the actual person who is to blame is the dad going back to that high profile of a job, dangerous job,
Right afterwards,
way too
yeah.
early.
I just want to get
Yeah.
back to work,
Walt definitely is responsible. He's one of the
The only
responsible
thing-
parties.
Yes, he is.
I'm going to have to agree to disagree with you there.
The only thing Walt has anything to remotely be guilty for or to feel guilty about is that he had a chance to save her and he didn't. That's my opinion. As far as the airplane accident goes.
And then
You know that song in the air
he-
tonight where he sees that guy drowning and he could have saved him, but he doesn't?
Oh, that's what that is.
Oh, sorry.
Man, Doug, I wish you were around for a season 2 episode now. But I don't know. To me, that's crazy. If Walt's not there that night, Jane's probably gonna live. I mean, they were doing heroin every night. You don't know that, but you don't know she would automatically die either. Like they would have woke up the next day and they would have moved to fucking New Zealand.
this was not night one of them doing heroin together. They've been doing it together for weeks.
Yeah, but they did so fucking much that night.
Here's the thing: you never. What if Walt didn't come there and Jesse choked to death because he didn't wake him up?
Jesse was on his side.
They were both on their side,
that's true,
spooning
that's
in bed.
Yeah.
The only reason she fell to her back is because he violently shook Jesse.
The
to
spoon
try
was
and
on
wake
the
him
end
up.
table.
Yeah. He's like, Jesse.
You're right. Walt is at fault for trusting Jesse with the money.
Well, he didn't trust
With the
Jesse
meth.
with the money. He didn't trust Jesse with the money. He had to give it. He got blackmailed, which is why he let Jane die. It wasn't to protect Jesse. It was.
He let Shane die because she was a problem for him.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, she had dirt on him.
That is probably the most heinous thing he did in season 3.
No.
Wait, in season 3?
You don't think so? Yeah.
Wait, what do you do in season 3?
Oh, not season. I mean in season 2.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, that's when a lot of people said, of course people watched all 5 seasons, but that's when a lot of people said they first lost any sympathy for Walt. Like, okay, this guy's kind of a monster.
You at least do see him struggle while he's letting her die.
He does.
Right?
Yeah, like he clearly
His first instinct was to help her.
save
He
her,
had to
yeah.
save himself.
instead of going with his instincts, he let his brain take over, and his brain was like, "Dude, if she's out of the picture,
You're
that solves a problem for you."
Yeah.
Can I talk about one of my biggest moments that got my heart pounding in the show on season 3?
Absolutely.
Was when Hank calls Walt to ask about Jesse and see if he knows anything about an RV that Jesse might have.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
like, I know he sold you some marijuana, and as far as I'm concerned, you didn't inhale. Okay. But did you happen to see an RV or anything? And the way Walt sits up, oh my fucking God, he's onto the RV. I got to get rid of that shit.
Oh, yeah, and Walt, your silence is very suspicious.
Yeah.
He's like, Walt?
What have you got in the bag?
Right. $500,000 in cash.
$1 million, $500,000 in cash. Yeah.
There were many times.
That's the spirit.
But anyway, before we got into our spirited debate about Jane's death, me and Corey's stance is that Walt at least plays a small part. I'm not saying it's all Walt's fault. He plays a part. In my eyes, he plays a part.
I agree to disagree.
No, what I was really trying to say though, let's rewind this. High school. Walt's speech demonstrates his two key attributes, which are how he constantly tries to justify his own actions, which he does time and time again throughout the show,
Oh yeah.
and how he tries to deflect blame, even at times when he knows he's indirectly at fault for things, for certain events that I won't mention.
for the sake of this episode.
Yeah. But so to me, as cringy as it is and as funny as they set it up to be, I think there's also a little spark of genius in there, just kind of letting us know who Walt is. And then when he talks to Jesse later, he's like, honestly, I blame the government. That's what it was.
Yeah.
And you're like, dude, you're so fucking delusional.
He's just grabbing at straws at that point.
Right. And that's when Jesse does the whole, you either run from things or you face them, Mr. White.
It was the Freemasons. Let's just be real.
When Jesse's like, "I am the bad guy."
I'm the bad guy. Yeah, and the thing about Walt's speech is I don't even think what he's saying is necessarily wrong. I don't think it's the right time for it.
And I will agree with you on that one. His speech, given depending on, it's really just about bad timing.
And maybe if he delivered it a little bit better.
he delivered
Yeah.
it like he didn't give a shit.
Exactly.
Where
He didn't.
Actually,
Well, right,
if
he didn't.
If you want to think about it, he probably shouldn't have given it at a high school in front of a bunch of kids.
His speech was definitely very pointless and poor
It
taste.
was.
Though he
It
wasn't
could've-
responsible for the plane crash. Anyway.
Do you know how big a 747 is? It's way bigger than a 737.
Way
It's
bigger.
it's like walking into a church and telling dick jokes. You're not going to get a great response.
But man, that'd be fun.
Okay, how about this one for an early season plot point here? What were you guys' thoughts on Walt coming clean to Skylar about being in the drug business? Did that shock you, or were you...
He only came clean because she found out. It's not like he chose to.
Yeah, but he typically tries as hard as he can to lie about everything. And
Yeah, he tries so hard to get out of it.
He just dropped it all.
He kind of, yeah.
I think he's wanted to.
And you see,
yeah.
you see his face change from I should lie about this to I'm Heisenberg. You see it happen in his face.
Yeah.
It's very clear. And then he's like, I'm not a dealer. I'm a distributor. Or is that what he said? Distributor?
I'm a manufacturer. They're called manufacturers, technically.
It's just like methamphetamine.
Yeah. Personally, I might have gone with the whole marijuana thing. When she said marijuana, I might have been like, "Yep, I'm dealing weed."
That's why I think he wanted her to just know, so it could just be done with all the fucking 7 phones and fugue states and simplify his life a little bit.
Right. No, that's fair.
Flip the coin. Either she's gonna be down with it or she's not. But he just wanted to be done with all the fucking background bullshit.
I mean, you have to. It's true because there's that moment in IFT where he's literally talking about the money he made and trying to give it to her.
Yeah,
and he's like, "Please take it because if you don't, everything that I've done would have been for nothing." And like I think you're right. I think he wanted to come clean for a while.
Yeah,
because I think a lot of it. I think not necessarily because he was tired of hiding all of this from her, but I think he was more so tired of hiding the money.
Yeah, I think at the end of season 2, like when she calls him out on all his shit, like when he stops her at the car, he's fully ready to tell her the truth. He said, like, stay and I'll tell you everything. And she's like, whatever it is, I'm scared to know. Like, I think at that moment, he was fully ready to tell her.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, he definitely didn't enjoy all the fucking, like, 15D chess he had to play to, like, sneak around.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, he just wanted to, like, be proud. He was proud of the money he was making at that point, and he wanted her to be proud of him.
Yeah, he was
too.
Well, because he initially started doing it for his family.
He's an arrogant fucking prick. And the fact that he can't brag about this, it's why when Skylar comes up with this amazing lie, which would have worked beautifully, he should have stuck with it.
The gambling?
He eventually was like, I don't want to tell that lie anymore because I'm proud of what I'm doing. I earned this money. I didn't luck into it. Like
he hasn't had anything to be proud of since he walked away from Gray Matter. He just wanted to feel pride in something for the first time, and literally since before his child was born.
Yeah, I think he always enjoyed like the actual cooking and the process, but I don't think he ever like actively enjoyed keeping it from his family. Like, I got it over on them.
Yeah, like if she had just been down with it,
yeah, exactly.
He would have been the happiest fucking guy.
If she was
he would fucking skip to work every day.
Oh yeah, if she was like a Carmelo Soprano.
What a fucking boring show that would have been.
Hey, it's called The Sopranos. Oh! Where's my gabagool? Wait, Mike, you said, what'd you say now? Walt did start doing it for his family?
I mean, that's the excuse.
I was going to say, Doug, what do you think of that one?
I think we'll get to that in a later episode.
But, at this point, as a viewer, you think that, he started doing it for his family. He was a man who was in desperation.
Yes. In season 3, I still thought, okay, he's just trying to make money for his family because he thinks he's dying. I still thought that.
Mm-hmm.
Season 3 is when it started to show that he wanted.
It showed that he enjoyed it more, and that.
Does he really care about his family though? Because there's that moment he tells her she could screw Ted and she could screw the butcher. He doesn't care. Screw whoever you want.
Screw the mailman. Screw them all.
She already did it, man.
Oh, and that's so funny that fucking Mike and Saul are just hearing all this because they have the wiretaps. Says, is this a good thing or a bad thing? I don't care. Screw the mailman. Screw the butcher. Screw them all. They're like, it's a bad thing.
He cared about his son.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's why he fucked up douchebag at the store.
From season
1.
That was a pretty awesome scene, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he cared about Jesse more, probably.
Listen, I can't...
No, Jesse was more useful to him.
I can't really super get into if he cared about Skylar or not because it's in another season, but he has a very big moment where he protects her on the phone, and it's very clear he still loves Skylar and did it for her.
Oh, El Camino.
Yeah.
Oh, wait.
No.
Of course, like, yeah, no.
No, not at all.
He did.
You're not even
did
close.
Care about them. Which create good respect to him because someone cheats on me, I lose all feeling for them forever, instantly.
Yep.
Same.
Yeah, and wasn't that kind of a fucked up time? Like, I'm not trying to Skylar bash here, but isn't that a fucked up time?
Yeah, you
The
are.
worst time for her to do it was after he literally poured his heart out and said like why he has the money It's Junior's therapy. It's college. It's your bills when I won't be around. Like, that was the worst possible time for her to go out and do that. Like, when he first forced his way back into the house, maybe then. But, like, when the poor man pours his fucking heart out, that's when she's like, I'm going to go fuck my boss.
Nah, she threw him out first. I think she made it clear she wouldn't have nothing more to do with him. So I
think that was her last resort to try and get him to go the fuck away.
Right. So did she cheat on him?
Nah, I don't think it's really they were on a break.
They were on.
Ross is a dirty dog. Anyway.
We were not on a break, Skylar.
But
See, that's a complex issue because the answer's gonna be different depending on who you ask.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Was it cheating? I mean, are they legally married? Yes. Are they legally separated? No.
If your husband being a methamphetamine manufacturer is a deal breaker to you, probably in her mind they're done.
Yeah, so, I mean, if that's a deal breaker.
Wow. What fucking standards do you have that you can't deal with something like that? If you don't love me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best.
Wedding vows mean nothing today.
God damn it, Skylar! Why do you have to be such a bitch?
Classic Skylar move.
It's crazy how she's obviously in the right for most of the part with everything she does when she's bitching at him.
Uh-huh.
But it's so fucking annoying. You just hate her.
Wait, but what was the end of that sentence, Mike?
I just said as with how logically,
Mike's like, she's a bitch.
Upset, but you're watching it, and you're like, you're like, fuck off, Skylar.
It's because you're watching because the main character's a villain, so you're rooting for the villain, and you don't even.
Okay, guys, listen. Walt is just seriously misunderstood.
You're right, but Heisenberg isn't.
Yeah.
In the world that we live in real life, Skylar's almost 100% justified in everything she does.
But she doesn't have to be annoying about it.
She's only annoying about it because you want Walt to succeed. In real life, she's legitimately she should have turned him in.
Maybe the cousins should have taken her in.
The Sopranos had a nice life. Tony Soprano and his family had a great life. Just saying.
I love that scene when Mike comes up to Skylar and says, "You know, Skylar, sometimes it's not a bad thing to have someone watching your back."
That'd have been much more threatening from Mike to Skylar.
Yeah, what?
Bearing acts of God or men
she
with
never
axes.
knew anything about the fucking cameras or anything.
Oh, I love that. He will live for the foreseeable future. Yeah, barring acts of God and men with axes.
I love Mike.
Yeah, so I know you already talked about it a little bit, but
that was arrogant.
Another. I love. Nicely done. Got him.
I do love me.
I do love the contrast at the beginning of the season where we kind of almost have these polar opposites where you have Jesse really embracing being the bad guy, and you have Walter
even though he's not.
Yeah, I mean Jesse is a bad guy.
Jesse was the bad guy before Walt.
Yeah, I mean Jesse does some
fucked with Crazy 8, man. Crazy 8 dropped bodies.
Jesse does some fucked up shit. He does try to deal fucking meth to people in NA. That's fucked up.
I mean, know your customers.
Know your customers.
That's just smart business.
Yeah, right. That's just good business practice.
There's probably not an NA group in America that doesn't have somebody dealing to some of them.
He said, "What am I supposed to not sell fucking peanuts on at the ballpark?" What?
Do I look rich enough to just ignore free money? Anyway,
no,
I
but
understand what you're holding up Irish Spring right now.
Oh, my camera is sponsored by Irish Spring today.
Okay. I was like, "What? Oh, okay." Why did I just think that was a part of your background? But yeah, so even though Jesse is. People just sell out, man, and that's sad.
That's the first thing I thought of.
23 delicious flavors. And it's from a doctor, so you know it's good for you.
So you know
Dr. Thunder?
He did have a PhD in chemistry.
Giant Eagle jalapeno chips. Oh, good.
I like it.
Wish we were recording that.
Good job committing to the bit.
I always have fucking crumbs down when I do these bits.
That's true. The pretzels last time.
Right. Yeah, so even though Jesse is
Jesse.
arguably like the most moral in a group of like evil people.
Jesse's an emotional guy, so he tries to do what he thinks is right at times, but he's also not a good person either.
He's
And I
not a
think
good
people
person.
forget that.
As far as most of the characters in this show go, not excluding the cops, which some of them are fucking fucked up too, but excluding the cops, excluding Skylar, even I mean, her moral compass gets fucked too.
Mike's
Jesse
like,
probably
"Fuck."
has
Walt
Jesse probably
Jr.
has yeah, there you go.
Well, he tries to get
held
beer.
the knife up to his father.
Oh, shut up.
Jesse probably has the best moral compass out of all of them.
Your friendly neighborhood.
Think
meth
about it from
dealer.
this: like you're walking through the store, and you see somebody like Jesse walking through the store. You're avoiding that person.
No, I'd be like, "What's up, bruh?"
No, you're gonna get stabbed in the fucking neck.
I grew up. I know too many of those people from young age.
Didn't we go to school with all those fucking people?
Yeah, and do you talk to any of them?
I did in school.
Their
Now?
stories are so interesting. I live vicariously through the shit they tell me,
No, you're right. I see those people now.
and I have to stop talking
actively
at this
avoid them.
point, not to incriminate anybody for anything. Moving on.
So you have this whole thing during this, like the big theme of the early season is Jesse is fully into being the bad guy. Like he's got nothing to live for, so fuck it. He's just going to be a terrible person.
I don't know if that was really it.
What do you think it was?
Like, I don't think
It's
that was
part-
like because he was way more on point by that point. He just kind of accepted that.
Well, it's the stages of going through addiction. He was just accepting things the way they were by saying he was the bad guy. Like in that one of the things, like getting over denial.
None of us have been like in AA or NA that I know of, so I could not answer that question.
I don't know. There's like 12 steps. That's all.
I don't do Jesus programs. Anyway,
Hey, speaking of Jesus programs, you hear about the new game that they're making where you can be Jesus Christ?
and do what?
Go around and heal people and stuff.
I thought it was gonna be cool.
Nope, it's called Jesus Christ Prologue or something like that, where you just walk around and you turn nothing into fish and you heal people. And
That sounds fictional.
No, that sounds like a shitty fucking game. Did you guys ever play Bible Adventures 2? I had to at church when I was a kid. Had to collect all the verses of the Bible.
first
Good
of all,
times.
don't ever ask me that question again. So it was like Slender the Arrival before Slender the Arrival.
No. It was a 2D platformer,
Oh my God, it's Jesus!
and you had to
Us-
collect the books of the Bible in order.
The screen goes all blurry.
He's just
The
like white
screen
with his
goes all
arms out. Oh my God!
It's Bro Jesus from Kevin
This
Smith movies.
this just reminds me of that one JonTron fucking episode he did about that weird game.
So what you're saying is it's actually the Friday the 13th Sega game for
Oh yeah.
for the PC.
And then you
Yeah,
come,
it
but
picks
you
up
always
right where
come
it
back
left
to
off.
life.
But it's
because
Jesus
you
instead of
always
Jason.
Rise again.
I'm gonna nail that part like Jesus the Carpenter.
I would play. You were a carpenter. I'm not handy at all. And
I can't wait for that
Dad
episode.
is top tier. Oh my god. Hi kids, I'm Ricky the Raptor here to tell you kids about the Rapture. So like Jesse, he goes through with NA. He gets like an eye opening. Like he's like totally fucking. I think he was pretty much giving up on life before he like heard that story and realized that he could still like accept it and move through it and just continue living.
About the guy that killed his daughter.
We move on.
Yeah, about like the guy. Like I mean, you have to.
Yeah.
It's,
That-
I mean, if you don't, then you're just on it. In my opinion, I guess you're just fucking shitting on the memory of your of the people you fucked up when you fucked up.
Really, that counselor's story is way more fucked up than Jesse's. Like
Yeah.
Jesse had a junkie girlfriend who died. That shit happens, but
Yeah.
he straight up ran over his kid and killed her.
Yeah, that's
Like that's
fucked.
way worse.
because he wanted to get drunk
Just because he wanted some alcohol.
and he did it on his own birthday.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Happy birthday to me. No.
Careful, that singing like that, Ted might come and fuck you. Anyway,
It's true.
Oh God damn it!
One of the worst.
God, that was such a weird ass.
Oh, forgot
Yeah,
about
now
that.
that was a weird moment that did not need to happen.
I think everybody in that office agreed except Ted.
Speaking of, when Walt fucking tries to get to Ted,
Oh, that office when he's trying to get in there. Walt, what are you doing? I'm just talking to Ted.
I'm talking with Ted.
And he just continues to drag the pot.
I have a question. Was Walt justified in doing that?
uh,
I think so.
Ted.
Are we talking about Hammond Druthers here?
Hammy D?
I think Walt definitely was
Bogdan?
justified in going into Ted's business and trying to have a conversation with him. Trying to break into his office. It's a little white
Well,
trash.
Hey. If someone doesn't have the spine to just have a conversation, sometimes you gotta step it up, you know?
To be honest with you, Walt was trying to hide in plain sight as a fucking cook of 95% pure
Whoa,
meth.
99.1.
At 95% pure meth. And
99.1. Don't insult him with 95.
he was
just talking-
95
I'm
here
just talking-
because she
I'm
fucked
just
Ted and he
talking to
wasn't
Ted.
concentrating.
Oh, I was going to say, that's like Jesse levels.
Yeah.
If he's hiding in plain sight, it's not a good idea to break into that place and risk going to prison. He should have met him outside of Ted's business somewhere to do that.
Catch me outside. How about that?
Exactly.
So I definitely think he's justified in going to talk to Ted. I think he's justified in trying to get to Ted. But he was so pathetic looking trying to pick that
Yeah.
fucking potted plant up
Bruh,
and throw
those
it through the window.
I think those are heavy.
I mean, yeah, but it's just the whole thing was funny because he's struggling so bad. And it turns what could have been badass or, what could have been threatening.
See,
And you're like, if I would have been Ted, I would have been like, ha!
but
He was
Ted
out of his
scared.
ultra rage meter. He had already used it.
And we got to remind that I think it's a firm reminder that Heisenberg didn't go to talk to Ted. Walter White clearly did, and that's why it was pathetic.
Yeah, because Walter White wouldn't have used a potted plant. Or not Walter. Heisenberg would not have used a potted
Heisenberg
plant.
would have used
He would have used something that would have blew that fucking window up.
the mercury.
Fulminated.
Yeah.
mercury.
Fulminated mercury.
It would have blew his door right off the fucking hinges.
Or thermite, the thing he used to like
I'm
break
talking
in
to
and
Ted.
steal
I'm
the
talking to
fucking
Ted.
methylamine, or any of the other things that he did that was intelligent at any point in time in the show, other than that single moment.
But to be fair, the thermite was Walter White. That wasn't Heisenberg.
All the other smart things were
Walt should have used.
that's true. That was Walt.
Walt should have used any other kind of method. I mean, it made the scene funnier, and I enjoyed it. But
Dude, it would have been. He could have made a better choice by walking in and shooting the fucking handle off of that gun.
Jesus,
It's kind of a good, summary of his character. Like, he's so fucking brilliant, but then, like, when he lets emotion, or he lets ego, or he lets pride take the wheel, he's fucking makes the worst decisions.
Which is why he's always stops and thinks about things, even if it seems morally questionable.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to think. What was the thing I was
he was
missing?
such a good friend. After Jane died, he was there for Jesse.
Yeah, he
almost
was.
like
He
a
was.
son.
He even tried to help him with what to say to Hank when Hank was trying to get in.
Yeah, you saw him looking at the phone when he knew Jesse was calling, almost like he had it rehearsed. He's like,
He
calm
had
down,
it rehearsed.
calm down. Yeah, of course, right.
He knew how Jesse would react.
and Mike, your comment was he was protecting himself there, not Jesse so much. When he's trapped in that RV telling Jesse what to say, he was not protecting Jesse so much as not trying to be seen in there by
Yeah,
Hank.
Mike had to not see him or hear him.
Hank.
Yeah,
What I
that's
say?
what I meant. Mike, Hank,
What'd I say?
same fucking character. If Hank
Hank
had
and Mike
grown-
are not the
if-
same character.
Hey, if Hank had
Whoa.
got any older, he would have became Mike one day. Let's just be
Hank
real.
and Gus and Mike and Hank. What did you see? It's a triangle and it's a circle.
Gus
like a
and
circle.
Walt Jr., where does it end, you know?
It's like a
Where does it end?
multiverse of madness. What you're
It's kind of
saying
like
is
Human Centipede.
Doc Brown is Hank.
Wait, what if Doc Brown is Marty?
He is.
Yes.
Anyway,
Yeah. So Walt's kind of struggling there when he's like he flirts with Carmen. I think that's probably trying to get back at Skylar. You think there's any part?
100%.
You think there's any part of him that just like wants to lose his teaching job?
oh yeah, he wanted to be done
Yeah,
with all that.
dude.
He was so over that. He didn't need it
He
anymore.
hated
past-
those kids.
So he was thinking like best
Fuck
case
those
scenario. Best case scenario, he hits on Carmen and it works. Worst case scenario, it doesn't work and he gets fired.
He was.
And that's still best case scenario.
Well, think about it.
he
Like
was-
your wife fucks another guy that's demasculating. So
Yeah.
he was doing like normal, like probably he wanted to like feel like a man again.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
some shit. I don't know. I'm not. But it was probably also petty revenge, and also he was done with that teaching job in the first episode of season 1. Let's be real.
Right.
Yes, but he was smart
the
enough
moment
to
he found out he
know.
had cancer.
He was smart enough to know that you can't quit your job and somehow you're still paying everything and nobody looks at you.
So hit on.
He knew he
your
needed a
boss.
job.
You know, on your boss. That's a lesson for all of our
No,
listeners.
by that point, yes, he was over it, but he was smart enough through some of it to know
Mike's
he needed
making a
a
mental
job.
note. Yeah. Mike's over there making a mental note.
And that's
so
why
hit
he
on your
worked
boss.
in a lab.
But Doug, in Walt's
It
defense,
worked for me once.
no, actually, never mind, Doug. I agree with you. I was gonna say you said he was done with that teaching job from the first scene of season 1. I was gonna say he actually had some passion in that first scene when he was teaching, but
Then the chair scraped across.
and then the chair scraped, right? That little asshole fucking because high schoolers are the worst.
And the first time we got a flashback of Gray Matter Industries, we realized he never wanted that shitty teaching job. Who the
Right.
fuck would want to be a high school teacher?
Hey, I was going to school to be a teacher.
And yet you're not.
Yeah, Mike, what are you teaching?
Uh,
How to get away with watching full movies at work.
Well, as a teacher, you
That
got
could be a
computer
college
right there.
course.
Yeah. I'm sure it is.
anything.
How
could
to
be a
steal the
fucking college
Declaration
course.
of Independence. One credit.
No, but then
Declaration of Independence.
Nicolas Cage taught me that.
yeah, speaking of Walt feeling fucking, like demeaned or betrayed or emasculated right after he gets canned from his job, like I love when Jesse's out in the car, Walt comes out with like his box of stuff. He's like, Walt's just all calm, like, oh, hey. He's like, did you just get fired? No, I'm just on a leave.
And he forgets he starts bitching at Jesse and forgets his boxes on there. And Jesse's just like, fuck you. And
Yeah, he said, eat me anytime, loser.
wait.
When Jesse like cooks the product, he cooks the blue, and Walt gets so fucking pissed.
Yeah.
Like, do you think that puts him in mind at all of like Gray Matter stealing his like
Gray Matter didn't steal it.
his version is like they took his research and
In
made
his
millions
mind,
off it.
he thinks they stole from him.
But yeah, and his delusional.
If he had just talked to them, they would have let him right back in. And
Oh,
given him a
100%
share.
they would have. Yeah,
Elliot even offered him a job.
Elliot would have been like, "Here, you want to fuck Gretchen?"
Elliot does look a little cuckish.
He's cockish. Yeah, he's a beta.
A beta billionaire.
A beta.
Elon.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but do you think? I mean, obviously, Walt's pride plays a part in why he got so mad that Jesse used like his formula. But do you think that like brought back bad memories of like Gray Matter, like for him, like stealing his, in his mind, stealing?
I think he was afraid that Jesse wouldn't have to rely on him anymore, and he was already lost everything else recently.
Yeah,
like, his life was falling apart, and now Jesse can do just as well as him. Like, had that happened, like a season, like at the end of season 2 instead of during this part of season 3, he probably would have actually been proud of him. Like, holy shit, you can learn.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and that's so goddamn sad between them. It's like they're always so fucking like they're toxic, but
No, it's such a good father-son relationship.
like you can tell
That's
there's
the
fucking
same one I had.
Nah, dude, that was better than ours. Let's be real.
Right. Yeah, so, you got all this shit going on. We already talked a little bit about the RV, fucking such a tense moment. I think up to that point, probably the tensest moment of the show. By far, I think.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
2.5 seasons. There was like, they set it up so well to the point, like, are we going to watch a fucking season of Walt in jail here? What's going on? Like, what is the...
I think that the twins, the cousins sitting on his bed with an
Yeah,
axe ready to
I was
kill him
gonna say that was pretty
a
tense.
closer call, to be honest.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
He would have got chopped into pieces and dissolved in acid.
No, it's Walt. He would have totally figured out a way to escape it with his naked self.
No, they would have chopped his dick off and fed it to him.
He had a towel.
I'm not Walter. I'm not Heisenberg. I don't even own a hat.
But then right after the RV, you have fucking 1 minute, which may be one of the best like action sequences of the entire series.
I'm telling you, that's when I got so much respect for Hank.
Yeah, it's so fucking good. And you had a perfect setup too, because you had the moment in the DEA office where they took his gun. So they set this up like from a filmmaking perspective. They set it up totally like he's gonna die.
Yeah.
They take his weapon, and then he gets good news that Jesse's not going to press charges. And that's when he like has the flowers for Marie. He's on the phone and he says like, I don't know, baby. I just feel like everything's going to be okay. And that right there, like that's the kiss of death. Like as soon as he said that, it's like, oh, this guy's fucking dead.
But, I mean, heads up on him to fucking back up into that guy just to get his gun.
to get his weapon.
I mean, I don't think that was his actual intentions.
I think it just kind of worked that way.
It's just how it worked out.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory.
When one of the cousins is behind his car. He
Oh,
rams
right,
into
right.
him.
In the fucking
And
parking
the
lot.
gun
right.
flies up through, and
Yeah, he crawls right up behind behind his car.
if that didn't happen, Walt or Hank would have definitely been dead.
And a great payoff with them buying those vests earlier, because Hank comes around the corner and shoots that dude like 4 times, but he has the vest on.
But then Hank shoots him in the face.
Yeah, Walt would have never survived that encounter.
Oh hell no!
No.
Hell no!
God,
Not a chance.
Walt is a fucking he is a mental badass. He is not a physical badass.
No. Yeah, I think pretty much 80% of the characters on Breaking Bad would fuck Walt up like in a fist of fight.
In fact, Jesse does
Many times.
It's the Batman argument. Like, Walt's prepared, so he can't lose. Caught off guard, fucking anyone. Like, Brock could have kicked his ass. Let's be real.
Brock could have kicked his ass.
Brock survived poisoning. He could kick anybody's ass.
Kid almost died to a flower. What a
That's right.
pansy. Get it? Pansy.
What a pansy.
That's the high quality comedy we give you guys.
They were lilies. They were lilies, guys.
That kid almost got Black Dahlia murdered.
That's an actual massacre from history.
Yeah, but from I think Sunset and 1 Minute, those are kind of just 2 back-to-back episodes on par with half measures and full measures.
Yeah.
That really, like I talked about earlier episodes in the season, I could see where some people say it's slow. I think season 3 does have a couple low lows. I also think it has some of the highest highs in the entire series with Walt Heisenberg. Yeah, with fucking Walt running over the gangbangers, obviously. Fucking Jesse having to kill Gail. Walt's fucking phone call and just...
I didn't see that porn.
I made that porn.
I filmed that porn.
Nobody watched it.
Speaking of 1 minute, though, we can't. We
Speaking of one... Oh, I'm keeping that in.
Yeah, that was
That's
killer.
beautiful.
Accidental humor is the best humor.
Speaking of the episode, 1 minute, we can't
Is that what
just
you titled
glaze
the porn?
over. This is what I titled the porn, actually, yes. We cannot glaze over Jesse's fucking phenomenal
Glaze over.
speech. Just using all the wrong innuendos here.
No, they're correct. They were all in the movie.
Mike, just take credit for these because it makes you look fucking hilarious.
Jesse's when he blows up at Walt.
When he blows up.
Damn it, Mike! When Jesse explodes.
All right. I'll let you. Get
I think the climax of this scene
Yeah.
is...
Okay. So, when Jesse becomes angry with Walt
Okay.
and starts screaming at him,
Yes.
and he's just like, everything I ever cared about is gone. All because I hooked up with the great Heisenberg. Like, that whole fucking sequence of, like, just the way he delivers his lines. I think this season is when Aaron Paul truly showed how fucking brilliant of an actor he is. Like, this is when you can, like, oh, he's really coming into his own.
Huh.
He's actually a phenomenal fucking actor.
I thought he showed his acting chops when he was on The Price is Right, jacked up on cocaine. And
That's right.
I only had like 3 Red Bulls. Definitely not any cocaine. in
No
my
cocaine. This is Aaron Paul, like, matching fucking Bryan Cranston. Like,
Yeah.
and he's so fucking good. He has 2 of these.
Was this the season he finally got the award for, or was that the next one? Because, I mean, Bryan Cranston had a fucking truck full of them by this point. I remember that award ceremony. Brian was so proud. It was like his son won an award.
Yeah, right.
I know Anna Gunn didn't win one till the last season. I'm pretty sure Aaron Paul ended up with 2.
Aaron Paul won 3 of them, 2012,
2010,
2012, 2014.
So season 3?
So that would be season 3,
He won the
5.
majority of his awards in 2014.
Okay, and that was like, I think that was like 5B, the final 8 episodes. Because it started in
He got a Jury
2008.
Award for Best Actor. He got a Satellite Award for Actor in a Supporting Role. He got a Screen Actors Guild Award for Outstanding Performance by an Ensemble. Well, so that's everybody. But no, I really feel like this is... I think season 3 is kind of when I started being on Jesse's side. Like, I felt bad for the idiot in the first 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But season 3 is when I started becoming more Team Jesse than Team Walt.
The true villain of the story. Anyway,
Yeah, so this is when your allegiance
self-proclaimed bad guy.
this is when your allegiance
Yeah.
kind of started to shift more towards Jesse.
Which makes sense because this is also when Walt starts to become kind of a major douchebag.
No. I think you're.
It was very heavy over the last couple seasons of the show, back and forth between being on Jesse's side and Walt's side. It was very.
I think I'm gonna
every
expose
episode it
something
changed.
about myself the deeper we get into Breaking Bad. Anyway, yeah, no, I have to
Doug
agree with you
sympathizes
completely.
with Walt the whole way through.
Hey, I didn't say sympathize. I meant this idol. I mean sympathize. But I think Aaron Paul, like when he went from, it was during the NA stuff when that switch flipped in the character, like the acting level just skyrocketed. He went from playing the punk to being like fucking. Like that scene at the gas station with the girl where he sort of give him a tank of gas with the meth with a cop behind him. That was fucking one of the best scenes in the entire series.
Yeah, cop walks in, he doesn't flinch, he's just holding out the meth.
And he was smoother than he'd ever been. It was like a totally different character.
Yeah.
Well, he wasn't high.
That's true.
At that time, he wasn't anyway.
And that's when he's... Is there a correlation? Yeah, and that's when he's kind of embracing like being the bad guy. So he just doesn't even give a fuck.
The confidence.
The confidence.
By embracing that, he accepted himself. Therefore, confident. He accepted who he was, and confidence stems from that.
So, what do you think about Jesse's like little morality flip here with Andrea and Brock when because obviously like he's trying to hook up with her at the beginning to sell her meth.
Yeah.
And then when she figures out she has a kid. And like they're alone and she wants to use, and he's like, what kind of mother are you? Felt kind of fucked up on Jesse's part. Like, I get what he's saying, and that is fucked up for a mother to do that, but he's kind of the one that
he has again, going back to his moral compass, he's one of the only ones that actually has morals in this show.
And he loves kids.
And he clearly loves kids. Every time he comes across one on the show, he's like all cool Uncle Jesse with them.
Yeah.
Uncle Jesse. But
what a creep.
All right, guys, I'm going to cut that out. No, I'm going to
I always love that
Uncle
joke.
Joey.
I always love that joke.
But like
R.I.P.
Bob Saget.
Yeah, not Uncle Jesse.
Uncle Joey's not dead.
Bob
Uncle
Saget.
Jesse's not dead. Yeah, Uncle Joey's not dead, and Uncle Jesse's not dead.
But the moment where she like says she has a kid, and I think he flips from trying to sell her drugs to looking at her as a person, and he actually isn't interested in her as a relationship as well. So he lets everything in that moment. Like he's like, well, I better get to know this person instead of ditching her, which he should have just walked out the door. He gets to know her more, and all kinds of bad shit happens.
I mean, I was gonna say, life might have been better for her if he had just walked out.
Yeah, which we'll get to.
It's not like he pulled the trigger, guys. Come
God
on.
damn it.
Well, no. No, you're right. If anything, he was trying really hard to keep him from.
I'm
being in
not
that
saying
life
it's his
anymore.
fault. I'm saying he was part of it.
Oh, God.
We're
damn.
just two different people. Anyway,
Yeah, and Jesse, like, I love the character. Makes some really bad decisions in this season. Stealing from fucking Gustavo Fring, not smart.
Yeah.
Mike said, I'm going to agree to disagree.
I mean, he paid for all of his fuck ups later, but we'll get to that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, people that
He
like
more than paid for his fuck ups.
people that watch season 2 and season 3 and they're like, poor Jesse. I'm like, oh, you poor sweet summer child.
You don't even know the half of
His
it.
pain has just started.
But see, it's all about accountability. He kind of earned what happens.
I would say
It's nobody
I would
else's
say he earned. I wouldn't say he earned everything that happens, but
I was going to say, I think Jesse suffered way more than Walt in this series, and Walt was
Yes.
a way worse person.
Walt even
yeah.
somewhat dies peacefully.
Walt even
With
has a
smile.
Walt has a somewhat peaceful resolution to
He
his
does.
story,
There you go.
Hey,
whether he lives or dies.
When he
he
dies.
tried to give Jesse
When
what
he
he
dies.
wanted. Jesse chose not to take it. Anyway, moving back to the
Really
season
comes
at
down to
hand.
accountability.
Exactly. Now
Fuck
you're
you,
getting it.
Doug.
So, say you're standing somewhere and someone points a gun at another person, and you have the time to dive in front of the bullet and take it for them. Are you a bad person for not? Because I sure as fuck wouldn't.
Well, it depends who it was.
See, Now you're starting to see the gray area.
The gray area.
The gray matter.
We already talked about gray matter.
Yeah. No, we covered that. Yeah, so after Hank gets shot...
Is this the season that they go to the birthday party, or was that?
That was the
season
first season.
That's season 1.
That's
the
season
first
1?
season.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
it was like the
Yeah.
4th episode or something.
Oh man,
Yeah, we
I
really
didn't
don't. We
realize
don't really
that.
don't see them again until season 5.
Season 1, episode 4, Gray Matter.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
Okay, Adrian, who knows every fucking episode.
Mike,
name.
this would be the time. This would be if you said he's an idiot savant, you'd be correct for the first time that you said that.
So let's just skip ahead. Let's talk about the best episode of season 3.
real quick, before we go to the best episode of the season, we just have to give props where props are due. Walt gives a pretty good speech in the hospital when Marie is like, how's anybody supposed to survive this death trap?
Yeah.
I love Walt talking about, like,
Yeah.
I survived this and I'm not half the man your husband is. That was a great moment for him to give to
Yeah.
Marie. Even if I don't know if
It's true.
Heisenberg believes that, but
There's no way he.
Oh
believed
no,
that.
no, no. That's 100% a lie.
but that was Walt actually speaking, and he actually. But that was great.
Walt's well aware he's not even half the man Hank is.
Right.
Heisenberg thinks he's twice the man
Well,
Hank is.
that's true because Hank is twice the size of Walt.
I was going to say, and he means that as a man and in size. And
No, he was being honest. She just didn't realize what he was saying.
we have to give props to everybody here. So I give Walt props for one good speech this season. Maybe more, I can't think of. Prop number 2.
Yeah, the one that he went and did high school.
Of course, high school.
Legendary. Anyway.
And that hospital speech started so bad. He said, I remember thinking when I was here, they could cut you open and you might never wake up. I'm like, oh my God, Walt, are we doing this again? But it got a lot
Yeah.
better.
Yeah.
He turned it around. We got to give props to props for props are due. We got to give Skylar props for that fucking story. That was amazing.
That was,
Yeah, that
you
was,
know
that
she
was
had
a
thought
very
about that
fucking
for a
well thought
while.
out.
Yeah, because Skylar's a
Yep.
fucking, she's a thinker. She does all the little details.
Rain Man had been out for like 10 years by then.
Right. I think Marie even says like Rain Man, doesn't she, or something like that? Counting cards
Yeah,
like Rain
like,
Man.
yeah.
Definitely not 21.
Right.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No, the thing I like about Skylar
I
in
like
later,
that movie.
the thing I like about Skylar
really
in
good.
later seasons is kind of Walt. Like the bigger and bigger his ego gets, the more carefree he gets, the more he kind of forgets the details because he thinks he's like so untouchable.
Yeah, he gets more and more arrogant and thinks he's untouchable.
And Skylar,
He's the one who knocks.
and Skylar's kind of like that person that fills in those details so well. She's
Yeah.
like, Walt, you're fucking up, dude. Like, you're gonna get a scat.
She's not like Gretchen smart, but she's like street smart.
Yeah, exactly, right.
For
One of
suburbia.
her most brilliant ideas comes in the next season, I think, when she tells him to buy the car wash.
No, that's the end of this season, isn't it?
Okay,
And,
then-
and that beautiful idea when she gives all the money to
yeah, that's stupid.
Yeah, she's like
Well, she fucked Ted.
she's
Oh,
like
you won.
She
she's
did
like
fuck that.
suburban mom who drinks a lot of wine smart.
Wow, our demographic.
No, 'cause
No, we don't
our
have any
demographic
women.
doesn't have
No,
that
you're
money.
right, I know.
Yeah.
Women hate us.
Should Maria have stolen all that shit?
Yes,
Should they have been allowed
What
to?
a-
Was Skylar
what a
wrong for
pointless
returning
character.
yes.
Hold on, I want to continue my props. Walt had a good
Okay.
speech.
it? Yeah.
Skylar, great story. Even though we talked about this before, I think. But like when Walt, because Walt is clearly like excited about her lie. He loves it. He's like, she's kind of in it with me.
Yeah, he's totally turned on by
Oh,
it.
But
yeah.
then she says, I learned from the best. We talked about this. Walt is a shitty liar.
He's not a good liar.
That is not a good
No,
line
he's-
from
he
her
is-
because he's a
he's not
genius.
good.
He's a master chemist. He's a shitty liar.
I honestly think she was just throwing it in his face. He lies all the fucking time.
She does that all the time. Like, wow,
Yeah.
I guess crime does pay when she goes to his house.
Yeah,
I think she learned from the best. Her sister Maria, the
Marie.
fucking mass fucking.
Why do we keep
jewel
talking about this
thief.
pointless character?
Wait, yeah, so
I agree.
props. Hey, let's give Marie props for a much better hand job than Skylar gave.
that's right.
Okay, all right.
I mean, the bad ones are always better. The bad ones are always better.
Says-
Let's be real.
Okay, quote Doug 2022. The bad hand jobs are always better.
No,
I don't even understand that
The fucking chicks with the questionable round. She's like,
Oh, I thought you meant the bad hand
Oh,
jobs.
of course she's better at giving.
That's right up there with him saying that the only way you can really appreciate life is if you're depressed.
And if
Exactly.
you're sad and depressed, it's the only way to appreciate the happiness that you can have sometimes.
And then lastly, props to Walt Jr. for when Hank's in the hospital and he refuses to get out, and he says, I can't remember how Hank words it, But Walt Jr.'s like, what? So people in wheelchairs should be in a hospital? What about me? Maybe I should be in here. Is that what you're saying? I love that because Hank's like, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Deal, you little prick.
Because he knew he got him.
Yeah, and Marie's like, the smile on Marie's face, like, oh, damn, Walt Jr. just got his ass.
Yeah, fuck you, Hank.
Right. So, hey, a great Walt Jr. moment right there. Props to Jr.
Pussy.
You're a pussy.
That's Flynn.
Yeah, that's Flynn.
True.
What a stupid name.
There's so many fucking alter egos in this
Is
show.
that like his Heisenberg, Flynn?
Yeah, Flynn's much cooler.
Flynn,
I
Flynn is
disagree.
cooler.
I disagree.
What, you think Walt Jr. is cooler?
No.
Doug, wait, there's not a third. Oh.
I see what you're saying.
Doug thinks the baby's cooler than Flynn.
No, I hate babies. But
Jesus.
I know. Why do they crawl?
Wait, Doug, so what do you think?
you guys keep giving me like chances to redeem myself from the
Well,
moral eye, and I
so-
just shit on it.
So we have a meta now. Mike hates crawling. Doug hates babies.
And dogs.
Doug, what do you think of puppies?
Fuck them.
They're like baby dogs.
They're worse actually, because they eat expensive fucking like electronics.
That's true.
Fuck them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nope. I now get it. Doug hates dogs because they chew cords. And electronics is his whole life.
Expensive court.
I do remember when my husky fucking chewed my $80 headset for my gaming
Oh fuck!
console.
Dude, I was
was
at a
pretty
friend's
upset.
house and they had a puppy and it chewed a corner of my social security card off.
So we gave props to all those fucking people. Now we can talk about the best episode that exists in season 3.
We'll say
right?
the most polarizing episode of the entire series.
No, the best episode. Oh, not the best episode of the entire series. Don't fucking quote me on that.
No, I said the most polarizing episode of the entire series,
The best episode in season 3 for me, anyway.
and that is
It's okay.
season 3, episode 10.
The Fly, or it's just called Fly, not The Fly.
Fly.
The Fly is with Jeff Goldblum.
That's Jeff Goldblum.
That movie sucks.
That movie fucks. But like,
That's bad.
That movie does fuck.
It sucks and fucks.
It
It's
sucks.
like
It
it's like
fucks.
Skylar fucking Ted. It was just wrong.
That's-
Never
It's just,
All I
wait,
gotta say
so
is-
Jeff Goldblum could fly 5 miles an hour. That's the same as lightning.
all I gotta say is there's been a contamination.
There's been a contamination.
You mean like Ebola?
Dude, you scared the shit out of me.
Yeah, I like artistically what the Fly represents. It's an okay episode.
Oh, wait. Fly, you mean? I thought, God damn, I can't tell for Jeff Goldblum.
We're talking about Breaking Bad, so we're
Yeah, Breaking
talking
Bad.
about the episode Fly.
Yeah.
Jeff Goldblum isn't in Breaking Bad. I don't know if you know that. Fun fact. Anyway,
Would have been a
moving
fun
on.
cameo. I know.
He would not have fit in this show at all.
Doesn't he play Hector?
Ding, 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 ding. Like, Jeff, could you please not say a ding, ding.
It says ding in the script.
He played Hector at first, but he would not
No, he
stop
played the
talking.
bell on
Oh,
the chair.
He just played ding, ding, ding.
The
that's
voice of Bell. Uncredited.
Ding, 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 ding.
The comedic aspects alone in this episode are, I mean, they're funny.
Good comedy bits.
It's kind of a different change. It is a change of pace from the season as we get to this point. So it was kind of like it was nice to have that like little break from all of the fucking craziness.
Yeah.
But
We needed that
then
break bad.
it takes you back. Yeah, it takes you back.
First Breaking Bad joke.
It takes you back into the seriousness when Walt, starts being real with Jesse about his cancer.
Yeah.
And like you kind of, like Doug said, what it represents, you kind of finally realize why Walt's being fucking crazy about a fly. It's just because Walt's in his head about, his condition.
That episode's much like Onions and Ogres. It has many layers.
Has layers.
It really does. Yeah. Like once you get past that, you start thinking about the comedy of it. It's not really that funny. It's really sad.
It's
I
actually
definitely
sad.
don't see that episode as a comedy episode. I'm straight up with you.
Yeah.
I see it for what's underneath 100%.
No, and this is one of those best examples of like Walt and Jesse, like I talked about earlier, their relationship being so toxic to the point where they can't even fucking catch a fly without hurting each other.
Right.
But also,
well, that's
good.
that's one of my favorite lines in the episode is when Jesse brings up Ebola and Walt's like, now tell me, what would a West African virus be doing in our lab? And Jesse's like, so you're chasing around a fly, and in your world, I'm the idiot.
In your world, I'm the
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's that relationship that's so fucking toxic, and even to add on to that, Jesse doesn't kill the fly until Walt's asleep. So it's like when Walt's finally out of the picture, that's when Jesse's able to kill the fly.
Because he was able to fucking do it without Walt.
Yeah, he's actually able to focus.
Yeah, and it's one of those episodes that really is heartbreaking because you see the love there, like with Jesse telling Walt the story about his aunt that had, her cancer spread to her brain, and he's worried about Walt. And then Walt falls asleep, and Jesse fucking rolls him over to the bed and puts a blanket on him. And then you have Walt like looking up the ladder, Jesse saying like, "I'm sorry about Jane." And the way he delivers that line, you can tell how fucking how sorry he is. You can tell how bad he feels about it. Yeah. And it's like, the two fucking care about each other. They can never say it. They can never fucking say it. Jesse's always looking for that connection with him, and Walt's just kind of a fucking asshole.
We do make the whole father-son like relationship comparison a lot. And I do strongly believe like Jesse sees Walt more of as a father than his actual real dad.
So real dad threw him away.
Yeah.
Do you believe Walt sees...
Oh, wait. Corey has to defend this first real quick.
They gave him enough fucking chances.
Oh, that's... Yeah.
The difference between a childless person and a guy with like 40 kids. Right there.
42.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, don't be ridiculous.
That's why he's getting a vasectomy.
That's right.
Yeah, one thing
I'm stopping this shit now.
Ask Dr. Zoidberg.
He decided to stop. He decided to stop.
He just said ass doctor.
Yeah, one thing I actually liked, I was watching a video thing a YouTuber said, I thought it was pretty cool. He said, here, I'll get it because this one I actually have like a quote for. So he said, "The Fly encapsulates the entire series in a single episode. It starts with Walt's obsession, which gets Jesse reluctantly involved, leads to a series of dangerous decisions, like with Jesse climbing the ladder, also very symbolic. And throughout, we see Jesse's many emotions towards Walt, including concern, like when he's telling the cancer story, concern, frustration, anger, and eventually resentment, like the end of the show. And then Walt realizes throughout the episode how much he's hurt Jesse, but in the end, nothing is resolved, with both sides much more damage than when they started."
And Jesse's still awake and Walt asleep.
Walt's sleeping.
So even...
Yeah, so I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good. Good on whoever the hell that guy.
Yeah,
was.
I wish I wrote down his name so I could give him credit, but the video has a bunch of views. He's doing fine.
Good job, guy who has videos. The
director
and stuff.
of that episode is
Ryan Johnson. Yeah, so it's the worst episode in Breaking Bad.
Ryan,
it's misunderstood.
Because he also directed the best Star Wars movie and Knives Out.
Yeah, he did direct Knives Out, and that was a good movie.
Fuck, now I'm conflicted.
And Looper for some reason. Looper, which was not a good movie.
Mike, you cannot turn on Last Jedi again. For the love of fucking God.
Okay, come on, let's be real. We wouldn't even believe him if he didn't flip-flop.
No, and I already told you guys, Ryan Johnson made Ozymandias, so you got to give the guy credit.
No, I don't hate Last Jedi. It just
he's flip-flopped again.
He went again. Jesus Christ!
Did you watch it again, Mike?
Will you please go watch it with Amber again?
Yeah, it'll fix everything. Wait. Did she like that movie?
Yeah.
So you didn't. You liked it because she liked it.
No, I did enjoy it the second time.
Ah, we get it. Okay. Let's move on and keep that in there without Mike defending himself. So anyway, yeah, Fly, good comedic bits.
Don't worry, Mike. They got me saying I hate babies, puppies.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that puppy. It ate a corner of my social security.
It ate a corner of your social.
All right.
It ate your identity, so to speak.
This corner of this wallet is damaged because of that fucker.
That is where my defending ends.
So no, Fly is an okay episode for me. There are people that fucking hail this as one of the best episodes in the series. There are people that say it doesn't belong in the series. It's a piece of shit. It's a bottle
episode. Don't belong in this series.
No, I don't. I wish I did. But
I love like super deep artistic, like shows and stuff like that. That episode is really cool.
It's so different.
It's not my favorite, but it's really fun.
It's very different. It's a bottle episode. They needed money. They needed to save money on the budget. They were way over already. Like nothing really changes from the beginning to the end of the episode. Like it doesn't progress the story. So I get that. Like nothing really happens in that sense. It's like a character thing between Walt and Jesse. Like we already talked about before, what the Fly fucking represents.
Yeah,
There are good
whoever's comment you ripped off and didn't credit, and I approve that, by the way. Fuck that. It's our idea, right?
It's
you do
ours.
that to me all the time. And you're...
Copyright, Culture Shock 2022.
Under fair use.
Prove that we didn't say it first, bitch. Anyway,
Bitch.
Science. Anyway, but yeah, I think whoever the fuck that was, pretty fucking genius breakdown of the episode. It's exactly what it was.
I thought that was really cool. That blew my mind a little bit. But Beyond the Fly, or Fly, not Jeff Goldblum movie.
Fly 2.
Fly 2. Wait, there was a Fly 2, wasn't there?
Yeah.
Fly 2, Beyond the Fly.
Beyond the Fly.
The last fly.
Electric Boogaloo.
6 miles per hour.
6. Whoa.
That's faster. Than
Holy shit, that's crazy, dude. That reminds me of something about Mary. Yeah, I have an 8-minute workout video. What if someone came out with a 7 minutes? You can't get a workout in 7 minutes. That's crazy. What are you talking about?
I was just a normal fly working in a laboratory until lightning struck. Now I'm Flash Fly. I can go 8 miles per hour.
I fell on a bed of methamphetamine and suddenly I could go faster than ever before.
Before I knew it, I was catching up to golf carts.
Now I'm Superfly.
Black Dynamite.
When he turns into Superfly, he has bell bottoms on.
And an afro.
Guys, we're doing this half measures. We really need to be doing this in full measures.
Full measures.
We're really doing this in Ozymandias measures.
Yeah, so beyond that, back half of the season is definitely loaded a lot more with where we're going to see the show go, the direction. You get more of Gus, you get more of Mike, you see the cartel involvement. Mike, you see how fucking Gus ultimately, why he gave the call to Hank is because he wants to bloody both sides of the border. He wants the cartel to not be able to come into the States because he wants to take over.
You gotta give him a blood sacrifice.
I gotta give him a blood sacrifice. I love the talk between Walt and Gus when Walt's saying, listen, I know what you did. More than that, I know I owe you my life. And more than that, I respect the strategy. And just the fact that Walt said that, like knowing his brother-in-law got shot, and he says, if I were in your position, I would have done the same. Like, that's cold-blooded, but, Walt fucking gets it.
You gotta crack a few eggs to get to the top.
Exactly. Even with his family involved, he's like, in your situation, I would have done the exact same.
In the first season, Hank was a total prick to Walt all the time.
He was. Yeah.
Really, Hank being the lead investigator in that was Walt's saving grace, though. I feel like if Gomez would have been like the lead and realized all that stuff was missing and Walt has a key.
Oh, dude,
way more investigated.
Walt. He would have walked right to him first.
Yeah.
Like, so all this stuff's missing from your lab, huh?
Yeah.
Right.
Chemistry.
I would have got away with it too if it weren't for those pesky. Oh,
Or for those pesky Hispanics and their great detective skills.
Yeah, obviously there's not time to cover the whole season. The one definite Saul highlight that I wanted to talk about was the first time he meets Skylar, just because that's a great fucking scene.
Yeah.
well, there's that and that whole scene
Dude,
when
Saul and Walt's
they're
pitch fight.
purchasing. Well, that whole scene when they're purchasing the house from Jesse's parents.
Oh,
Yes.
oh yeah.
I fucking love that. Yes, I am that guy from TV.
That was
Better Call
actually
Saul.
Yeah, that was
I
like
get that all the
high
time.
level Saul.
Offers
Like,
them
being Saul.
half the amount, 400,000. This is insulting. It was before I found out about the meth lab in the basement.
yeah.
It's
I
dangerous to not put that kind of stuff on the listing.
I gotta say, I respect the attempt to slip that one by.
Yeah, I love his fucking.
I personally, I'm fine with it.
He said, "We're standing firm at 850,000. We think that's fair." The dad's like, "There's always a little wiggle room." He's like, "Why don't you wiggle us down to 400,000? We got a deal." He's so fucking good.
Yes.
It's just a show that it's a show that kind of got away from the comedy. So it makes perfect sense to bring Saul in. He's like comedic relief.
Yeah.
Like when you need to break some tension up, you put Saul in there.
That was comedic relief while still being cold as fuck.
Oh yeah.
My favorite part of that whole scene, though, is when Jesse shows up and they're walking out of the house and he has the keys and he walks in.
Yeah.
Doesn't even say anything.
She's like,
Own the
Jesse,
place.
the homeowners will be here any minute. What are you doing?
Bought
the place. And just closes the door on them. Happy
Beautiful.
housewarming, kid.
He should have said, "Get off my lawn."
Again, bad fucking move by Jesse. Where the fuck did he get $400,000?
Well, yeah, I'm a criminal. I ain't about paying bills and shit. Yo, Darth Vader had responsibilities. He had a Death Star. 2 of those bitches.
Yeah, and he was just really misunderstood.
He was misunderstood. I think
Yeah.
that's Mike. That might have been what started your YouTube series. Darth Vader, the misunderstood.
See, it's really
Yeah.
Mace Windu's fault for not giving him the title Master.
True.
I fully
Created
agree.
Darth Vader.
Palpatine created Darth Vader. He literally gave him the name.
So you're saying everything Darth Vader did was all because Mace Windu didn't grant him Master? Kind of like
Yeah.
when Walt rolled Jane over onto her back?
Well, guys, it's all
No,
it's,
that's different.
guys. It's about accountability.
No, because he denied him the rank of Master. He didn't just.
And Walt
Not
denied
give
to
it to
save
him.
her life.
No, if anything,
It's different.
It's Jesse's fault for
not.
being a dumbass.
He said
so
it's
far.
not. Mace Windu denied Anakin the rank of Master. Then Anakin went and did heroin.
That's right.
Yeah. It's all about accountability.
It's a deleted scene.
You underestimate my power.
See, when he's killing the younglings, he actually was just fucked up on heroin. Those were all his bad
Oh
thoughts.
God!
Those were all his
He's
bad
like-
thoughts.
he's just like, I'm a Jedi Master, and they're like, Annie, shut up, you're high again. Go fucking watch the power converters.
Go watch the power converters. But I was gonna pick up some power converters at Tashi Station.
But I didn't even have heroin today.
Ha Yeah, but favorite line of the Skull. I guess that's Saul and Skylar. That's their power couple named Skull.
That's fucked up.
Hey, Skull, that works. Yeah, but
Red Skull.
my
I mean, she fucked Ted, she fucked the mailman, she fucked the
fuck the
milkman.
butcher, fuck them all.
She might as well fuck Saul too.
Yeah, my favorite line though is when she walks in and he says, "Clearly, his taste in women is like his taste in lawyers. Only the best with just the right amount of dirty." she just fucking looks over at Walt like, "Are you serious with this guy?"
No, yo, we
very
need a
serious.
criminal lawyer.
Right.
Anyway,
And this was the season when Skylar told him to buy the car wash, like you guys said.
Yeah.
And he's like, it's better than your laser tag. He's like, is that you saying that or Yoko Ono? He's like, look, it's not about what you buy. It's about believing the lie. That's when he says, like, I once slept with a girl who thought it was Kevin Costner, and it worked because I believed.
oh shit,
Yeah.
it's also underrated in that show.
He
Is that the first episode Bill Burr's in? When he's doing the...
Oh, him and Hugo. I mean, he'll.
No, he's not
he'll-
with Hugo in that one.
He's
He'll
doing
in
like
that
the
one.
water
He's
sampling.
doing the water
Yeah,
sample
yeah.
test.
When he buys I fucking Bill Burr's amazing.
Yeah, well, of course.
And just everything.
He-
So
Go listen to our
Like-
stand.
It didn't really dawn on me that that was Bill Burr when I
Yeah.
watched the show. I was like, oh, that was Bill Burr.
Bill Burr just said he told his agent like he's addicted to the show. He said just
Get me on it.
do anything. He said I'll die from meth. I'll do it. He said just get me on that fucking show.
Dude, he would have played a great tweaker.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah,
like-
all he has to do is his act.
He could have been Skinny Pete.
Oh, he could have been, the guy that was on Jesse's couch when Jesse's partying all the time, and
Yeah.
the guy's like,
Oh,
"Well, you
yeah.
know what happens? Is they put it in our milk, and then we drink it, and then these
Yeah.
people got pushed into the gate, and they got pushed through."
Conspiracies.
It would have been way
100%.
more like aggressive.
Oh yeah, they put it in our
I-
fucking drinking water, and then they fucking.
I'm glad that they gave Bill Burr an actual like more prominent
Yeah.
role though than just a random tweaker.
QB.
Yeah, so I guess there's the one major thing left to really talk about is how Jesse he finds out about them using the kids, and he finds out that it's
Half measures and
What
full
the-
measures.
yeah, what is her what is the girl? Is it Marie? Not Marie. That's fucking-
Andrea.
Andrea.
It's
okay.
Andrea's kid brother Tomas.
Was it? Wait,
Yes.
was this the season that Walt pops a cap in those guys' asses?
Yes.
Yeah,
We kind of glossed over that.
No, that's the end. That's
that's the end.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
we're-
shit,
we're
you're right,
get-
you're
we're
right,
getting
you're
there
right,
now.
you're right. My
yeah.
bad.
This is like the last two
I
episodes
thought that
of the
happened
season.
earlier.
Yeah, so nice little twist. First of all, with Jesse learning that Tomas was the one that killed Combo. That
Yeah,
was a great way
yeah,
to fucking
yeah.
circle it
Yeah.
all back.
You might say
Yeah.
he pulled a combo breaker.
Combo breaker.
He's like, Combo was us, man. He was one of us. Does that mean nothing?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking it's what these writers do so fucking well is just bringing the story full circle. It's like how that's something that at this point we've forgot about. Like, oh yeah, Combo got killed, and then you bring it all the way back to this fucking kid did it.
I kind of wish Combo and Badger were the ones that lived, and Skinny Pete was the one that got
I
kept.
love Skinny Pete.
Dude.
What's wrong with Skinny Pete?
No.
He's just not as.
Combo is easily the weakest,
Badger is the best.
but Badger's the best.
I think
yeah,
it's the
that's
voice.
that's who
but-
Corey sounds like.
Oh my god, when he gives that fucking skinny. Oh, that's a different
Combo's
season.
the
But
weakest.
Yeah, I thought
Dude.
so too.
He got
Skinny
them
Pete is the
RV.
shit, man.
I love Skinny Pete.
I actually I agree with Doug. Skinny Pete's
Oh
the
my
man.
Skinny
God.
Pete got held up by the fucking characters from Resident Evil 7, the villains.
Wait, that's 8, motherfucker.
No.
Wait,
the
Village?
fucking-
Talking about the Baker
yeah.
family.
Yeah,
Oh, the Baker
family.
the Baker family were scary as fuck.
Exactly. That's who.
I think
held up
I
Skinny
also
Pete.
would have been held up by the Baker family.
Yeah, Doug, if you had a knife this fucking big, like pointed right at your neck, what are you gonna do? Some John Wick shit? And they're tweakers. They're not like nodding off. They're fucking like,
I'm gonna laugh and tell them
They can see every hair on your head move.
yeah, they're right. They're not like falling asleep.
The only way to outsmart a tweaker is to be like a tweaker.
You must think.
You must
like a
be.
tweaker.
Yes, but what did Jesse make them all stop doing when they started selling it? He made them stop
It's
using
It's
it.
true.
Right.
Damn it, Jesse, you fucked up. No.
Do you think Badger
That was
and
his
Skinny Pete
mistake.
actually quit?
They definitely calmed down a lot during those episodes when they were dealers.
Oh, they
Yeah.
were on their steps. Remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. Skinny Pete was like step 6. Badger's like step 2. Yo, I'm catching up. And Jesse's like, whatever, man, because he's all annoyed that they're not using. And then Jesse fucking gets them to use again the next season because he's terrible
Yep.
when they're clean.
You guys, I love how people act like Jesse is actually a good person.
Right. Oh, he does
he
a
has
lot of
moments
bad
of
shit.
good, but he's not a good guy.
He's such a good, good guy.
he's got the best
He's
moral
such a-
compass, but
Well,
he's not a good
He's just
person.
It's because who we see him beside Gus, Mike, Walt, they're like cold-blooded,
what I
calculated
said.
killers, and
Yeah.
Jesse's not
Jess-
that. Like, well,
He's
Gail, but
basically,
Gail was probably the most
Yeah,
morally correct person.
that's true.
yeah, oh, poor Gail.
And
Do you
he
know one
died.
of the few times you actually see Jesse around normal people and realize he's a douchebag? When he's at his parents' house.
Yeah,
Nah, dude, I'd be a douchebag around them too.
The
They're
only
assholes.
time, like the only two people in this show, out of all the people that are in this like criminal enterprise, other than Gail,
yeah. Gail says there's criminals, and then there's criminals.
eh,
I
like
love Gail.
I think Mike and Jesse are the only ones that actually kind of have a heart.
Dude, Mike has a body count. Like you probably.
That's
like, we couldn't
true.
even fucking
Yeah, Mike
believe.
Mike
true,
fucks all the bitches.
But
He's got
he
a body
does-
count.
but Mike does everything he does for
And
his
he
granddaughter.
murders people too.
Mike, did you say he does everything he does for his granddaughter?
Yeah.
Like killing all those people?
He
That doesn't
gets
make
paid to
the
do it.
actions not bad.
But he,
He's
I
paid to
didn't
do
say
a
they were
job.
bad. Did I? Also,
Oh,
Jesse's
yeah.
bad too.
oh
Jesse's
yeah.
bad too. But the both of them have hearts.
Okay, yeah, I guess I can see that. Mike's got his granddaughter.
He has
then
honor.
he- like,
he has
yeah,
honor. That's
And then
that's what you're
even
looking
like
for.
even eventually like
Walter.
Mike takes Jesse under his wing. I think maybe because he kind of sees
Yeah,
a little bit of himself in Jesse.
right.
Like Jesse could be more like me if he just had the right guidance.
I think part of it was also to piss off Walt,
Well, I'm sure that had a lot to do with it.
and because Gus.
I
and
get
Gus
paid
told
to
him
take
do it.
care of the people that the other people can't take care of.
Yeah, Gus also told him to do it.
right. Do it.
Which I mean, yeah.
Gus is smart.
Yeah, Gus is very fucking smart.
Yeah.
Hey, Gus is only doing all
But-
this because the mafia killed his brother.
They killed
But-
Max, the cartel.
But doing this, you know, Mike obviously becomes attached to Jesse. We will get to that next.
That'll be season 4.
I think
yeah.
that girl that's the assistant manager of Los Polos Hermanos is probably the most morally correct character.
That's true. Yeah.
Mr. Frame's not here.
What about Holly, the baby?
Remember,
No,
Doug hates babies.
She smokes meth a couple times. on the show.
Original sin.
If you pay
Original
attention.
sin.
Well, she does.
She also-
You're born a sinner.
Well,
You're born a
there you
sinner.
go. Holly
Christians.
does inhale secondhand smoke from Skylar.
To be fair, Holly never objects to the selling of meth, so really she's not that great.
She's
That's
a
true.
nicotine baby. She's gonna grow up to be.
She even runs away with her dad.
She even runs away with her dad.
You guys are forgetting Holly's biggest problem.
What is it?
She was
She
born.
fucking crawls.
Oh, she does crawl.
Hey.
Oh yeah,
hey,
Mike,
hey.
you fucking hate her.
Do you think she's as fast as a fly? Can she?
I don't.
Anyway,
I don't think so.
she's-
Crawling's
well,
pretty slow.
What about when she touches the
5 miles an
meth-
hour is
meth
pretty
money?
fast crawl, I'll tell you.
That money Walt has is covered in meth. If she touches that, that's
Yeah,
great.
right. Just,
She,
woo!
she might go fast.
Anyway.
Speaking of 1 minute, am I right, Mike? Oh, callback. So Jesse's plan here.
Get the Catholics out of here.
Obviously, Jesse wants to get rid of these guys. I mean, if you found out months later, if you found out the person who killed your best friend, you never know it.
Yeah.
You never know what you would do. You might want some revenge. We live in the real world. I don't think we're gonna kill anybody. I mean, Well, not that we'd admit like out loud, but
Hey,
so his.
I just have to return some videotapes to the video store.
Nice. No, but I think his plan is pretty good.
Thanks, Jeff.
Gus is still going to become suspicious if the ricin, it takes a couple days to kill them. But if these two guys keel over all of a sudden, Gus is still going to get suspicious. He can't prove anything, though. I think Jesse getting the ricin, it could work with the burgers. Like, he has the whole thing worked out with Wendy. Obviously, Walt doesn't go along with it.
I thought that was a good idea.
I get what Walt's saying because it really does accomplish nothing. Like,
it's a lot better. It's a lot better than fucking Walt just coming out of nowhere and plowing them over with his car and then shooting them.
Well, that desperate times.
I actually think that worked out best because it just looked like random gang violence.
Exactly.
Gang violence, right?
You can't.
Poisoning would be investigated a little.
They
more.
never would have.
Except
Gus never would have thought Walt was going to do that.
But he did. He found out easily.
Yeah, because he had.
Gus knew.
Because people,
places, and things.
But just in a myriad
and sometimes why?
And just
anyway.
like in a plethora, in a myriad of great Jesse scenes during this season, including both of his speeches.
A cornucopia.
when he stands up to Gus, when Gus is like telling him this will be resolved right here, you'll shake hands, and he says no. that moment.
The way Mike sits forward, like, oh my God.
Mike is scared for this kid's life.
Yeah.
Like Jesse.
Mike would have had to be the one that took him out.
Yeah.
Took him out to the fucking dumpster.
And Jesse just did something that Walt has never had the balls to do. He fucking stood up to Gus.
Yeah. And I actually, like, I know that Walt said that
who's going to tell their hero no?
Like, I know Walt said it wouldn't make a difference, but I fully understand why Jesse did it.
For sure. And to be fair, at this point, Jesse didn't know the extent of how dangerous Gus was, and Walt did know. Like, had Jesse known Gus more, he might not have stood up to him. So
after the box cutter incident, I don't think he would have stood up to him.
I can't wait to talk about that.
Yeah.
God, that was I love that scene.
That was
so just a couple quick things here. The ricin, if you were Walt, if you're capable of making it, what would you do with Jesse? Like, Walt tries to get fucking Jesse in prison. Saul says, "You want to get your criminal associate incarcerated?" Would you give Jesse the ricin? Would you let him go through with that plan?
If people ever thought Walt didn't care for Jesse,
Yeah.
Walt would have just disposed of Jesse if he didn't care about him.
Well, the thing is, because
that's the biggest point I can make.
Walt could be like the happiest. This is the season that proves Walt does love Jesse. Because Walt could be happy if Jesse was dead. Walt, all of his problems would be gone. He'd go to work every day and work for Gus and make millions.
And Gail listen to fucking classical music and drink the best coffee.
The best coffee in the world.
And make meth,
Gail would recite
Classic.
Walt Whitman to him every day.
That's the dream.
I think if Walt would have just buckled down and worked with Gail, I don't think Gus would have ever killed Walt.
No.
I think he would have worked with him.
Right.
No,
Gail was too good. He needed to have somebody to like feel superior to around him.
I think Gus was wanting Gail to take I think he eventually would have got rid of Walt regardless.
You think?
Well, see, I made that argument before we spoiler re-recorded this episode.
Yeah.
And Adrian made a good point was that Gus actually went out of his way to offer him like a long-term like contract.
Yeah, he said extended annually, $15 million a year.
I have a feeling the goal would have been to take Gail to another location to ramp up.
See?
That makes more sense.
And Walt even says to Skylar in season 5, like about the car wash, like, what do successful businesses do? They buy more businesses.
Yeah.
Like, that's what Gus was going to do. Exponential.
Instead,
at that point, I think Gus already planned to kill Juan before he had him killed. I think he hired Gus to learn everything so he could take over the Mexican side of things.
Yeah, yeah, that would make sense. He wanted Gail to go down to Mexico. But no, was that ever his plan? Because remember, he just sent Jesse down there as a distraction so he could go down there and kill them all.
Well, he was always prepared to take that.
That's true. Yeah, that was
always part of the plan.
That's true. Okay,
that
so now
predates all of this.
So now the big question. Here's one I don't see talked about. I was talking about like I see other questions that don't really matter that much, like who called Hank and stuff. I never see this talked about on the internet. Do you think Gus actually ordered the hit on the kid?
Yeah.
Because Walt came up to him and he said, maybe Jesse thinks you're the one that gave the hit.
Let's unpack it. Let's look at Gus's background. Like, he was a fucking naive young guy that got in above his head with him and his partner.
Yeah, with Don Eladio.
Yeah, and he had to watch his partner slain.
Yeah.
Like fucking super fucking like cartel style.
Oh, yeah.
And then he got put to work. I don't think there was any issue for him to like dispose of anyone. Like that part of him died with his buddy that day.
Yeah.
And he did it as kind of like a lesson. Like he did it purposely.
I personally don't think he did.
You don't think he did?
I think he pissed those guys off because Gus didn't know they were using kids.
Yeah.
And I think those guys were like, well, we better get rid of the kid or he's going to tell on Gus, so we'll kill him. I think they...
So you think Gus was like vague? He just said like no more children, and they took it as like just get rid of the
Gus
kid?
had a slight moral compass. And
Uh-huh.
when Jesse says they're using kids, he looks surprised.
Yeah.
He stopped being mad at Jesse and
Well-
told them to come back in.
Unlike
He also
Walt,
looked
Gus
surprised
is a
when
good
he was at
liar.
the DEA and saw Walt's picture and played it off like a smooth fucking criminal. I don't
Yeah.
think like I don't see any. I think he was like pure fucking bad man. Like honestly,
I don't think he called out to kill Tomas.
You don't think he gave the order?
No, I don't think so.
I think he did.
I think those guys took it
Why?
into their own hands. I already said why.
Well, I mean, why do you think he cared about the kid?
I didn't say he cared about the kid.
You just think he has a line that he won't cross.
I think he has a line he won't cross, and I don't think he ordered that. I think those guys got scared because they were using kids and fucking Gus found out.
Yeah.
So they got scared and they cut their ties with kids because that's what Gus told them to do. And they decided, well, that means we got to kill him. I think they decided to
So
kill
you
him.
think Gus wasn't specific?
No.
And they just took care
Now,
of it
I
their
don't
own
think
way.
Gus gives a
Here's-
shit they killed the kid.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't think he called for it.
He's so careful about who he works with, though.
I think he called for it because Jesse stood up to him, made him look like he undermined his authority.
That's fair.
So he was like, "All right, I'll show you. You don't want us to use the kid anymore? Fuck him. We'll kill him."
That's fair. That's fair.
Here's why I don't feel like that's a thing, though. At that moment, he started respecting Jesse more. That's why he eventually puts him with Mike. I don't think he hated Jesse for that. I think he was impressed. He would have never let him work with Mike if he hated him for that.
But before that, still at that point, like Mike's trying to convince Walt that they need to get rid of Jesse. So I don't think at this point
I'm not
Gus
I'm not
has
even
any
talking about
intention.
Jesse and Mike yet. I'm talking about Gus.
I know, but I mean, Mike's telling Walt to get rid
Yeah,
of
but
Jesse.
Gus was the one that made the decision for Mike to start working with Jesse.
Yes.
It wasn't Mike's idea.
It wasn't Mike's idea.
Gus
That's true.
is
I
the
think
boss.
I think Mike was actually really annoyed
I
with
just
it at
don't
first.
see anything to suggest that Gus gave a fuck about whether or not they use kill children.
Yeah,
as long as
I
the
don't.
job
I
got
don't
done.
think he has any moral compass.
He's so specific about who he trusts, who he works with.
Yeah,
and
why would he
that
be
there's an
okay with the kid thing?
understanding. No, that's
If-
what I mean. Is like the people that work around him, like are like all handpicked. Like he doesn't
Like
just pick
I
anyone
see
off
what
the
Doug's
street.
saying. Like,
so,
I
like
think he.
I feel like they knew. He said what he said because he knew they'd know what he mean. That like at least that's how I took it. That's why I think that he kind of gave the hit. It was like he said what he had to say because he knew that his guys would understand.
I
That's
don't
a
know.
good fucking question, Adrian.
It's up for interpretation, but my
That's what, like,
my
that's why it's a
opinion
good
is
question.
the way he looked surprised Jesse stood up for him and the surprise in his eyes when he said they're using kids. I don't think he
Yeah,
made
I mean,
that call.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just I just think it's I think it's complicated.
The counter argument for I do think maybe I could see it both ways equally with Corey and Mike. Mike, I could totally see that Gus felt disrespected at that moment, and you don't disrespect Gus.
Yeah, I didn't even think about it like
Corey,
that. I
you
think
could
it's a really
see
valid point
Corey,
as
I could
well.
see how Gus maybe got some respect for Jesse in that moment.
I can also see that.
But
too.
the counter to that is he used Jesse later. He was just using Jesse to drive a wedge, but because he knew him and Walt were never going to separate, so he wanted to work on driving the wedge with Jesse and Walt.
I mean, that could have been like to like back up Corey's point.
Yeah. I like this. Now we're getting each other's points.
Well, like I mean, I still think
This is how
I
the
still
meeting
like
should
take it
work.
from my interpretation, but like looking at it from his perspective, the respect thing. He not only could he use that to like fuck with Walt, but he could also like build a new useful fucking guy that he
Absolutely.
could rely on. That's why, like, he obviously
Yeah.
trusted him enough to go to fucking Mexico with him and to fucking brought him back. So like,
I
he
could
could have just
see how
left him there if he.
and he
truly
invited him to
thought
his
he was
house for
useless.
dinner.
He did.
Yeah,
He was doing enough that he trusted Jesse a little bit.
I mean that's a huge respect trust thing in like
Yeah.
that world.
I could see how in that moment he might have like maybe something clicked in his head, like, oh, maybe Jesse isn't just this fucking junkie that I wrote off.
Junkie loser.
So yeah, I could see that side of it too.
Yeah, like I like both your guys' points. I just I feel like Gus is so particular about who he works with that he doesn't need to like give explicit instructions to get what he wants done. I feel like his men.
But that's
what
my
he wants.
point. They know Gus well enough to know he doesn't have to
Just-
tell them to kill the kid, but we're going to, and Gus won't do anything about it.
Right. But then if you let the kid go, like if Gus,
He could say something.
the kid could always identify someone, or
I don't think Gus would ever just have let that kid go.
Yeah, I know that's where I'm struggling.
Maybe
like,
put him to work or something in a different way.
in a different way.
Yeah.
Ship him to Mexico.
So, do you think that?
Go make Nikes anyway.
So after Walt runs over those guys, the next day when Walt's talking to Gus and Mike, and Gus is like, "Explain yourself." Do you think Gus really would have handled those guys? Like, because he says, "Explain yourself." Walt says, "My partner was about to get himself shot," and he says he should have let me handle them. Do you think Gus would have like killed them, or do you think he would have? But if Gus was in on it, maybe he wouldn't punish them. But see, it's complicated. I don't know.
I think it could go any of the ways. I think it could go any of those ways.
Yeah.
There's no real way to know for sure.
Yeah,
well, there's probably is
no,
a way
there
to
is.
know. It was written on the back of a fucking photo on a fridge somewhere.
When
in
we
an
do
episode.
season 4, we get Vince Gilligan on here and we ask
There
all
you
these
go.
questions we want to ask.
Yeah. And then I wake up and I have to change my pants because I had a wet dream.
I'm sure if you listen to like a Breaking Bad podcast, they would probably explain like Gus's mindset there.
I don't think Vince is kind of cryptic about some of that shit.
Yeah, he is.
He likes us to. He likes these discussions.
This is what he wants right here.
This is the point, and I enjoy
So you're
talking
saying
about
is we had
this.
asked him, he's like, well, I don't know, what do you guys think? What do
Maybe
you
it's
think
a
it
bit
did
of
happen?
culture shock.
But yeah, the last two things just to wrap up here real quick. Obviously, Mike's speech is fucking A1. No pun intended for the car
Steak
wash.
sauce.
Yeah, no pun intended for the car wash name A1. But Mike's
Oh, God, it
Mike's
is
speech
named
is
A1.
A1. Yeah, I didn't even mean to do that.
His half measure
Wait,
speech is
they
amazing.
bought the car wash in the season, right? In the
Uh,
season, it was bought. They made the purchase, or is that next season?
that's next season.
Okay, so they just talk about it. In the
Yeah, they looked at it, they drove there, but they haven't bought it yet. Skylar hasn't figured out her water scheme
him
yet.
taking Bogdan's first dollar and putting it in a pocket is the best fucking thing ever.
Are you strong, Walter? Yeah, but Mike's speech, fucking one of the best of the series from any character. So damn good. That's the moment that you knew, like, Mike's not somebody to fuck with. That's a moment that Walt looked fucking genuinely terrified of Mike. Because Mike's just like, so I took him out to the desert, I put my barrel in his mouth and said, this is it. This is
He's
how you
not a
die.
bad guy. He's a bad motherfucker.
He's a bad motherfucker. Mike gives me some serious Pulp Fiction vibes sometimes. By the way.
No, he doesn't like. And Ezekiel said to them,
And Ezekiel's. No,
And
but
the
yeah, that's
Royale with cheese, Walter.
that speech is so fucking good. And then with full measures, I also love to go on the inverse of that. Walt being terrified of Mike. I love Walt begging for his life and getting that phone call. And as soon as he just flips the switch, like, hold on, I think I did have the address up. Like 5636 Wantabo or whatever. Like as soon as he gives that address, Mike's face just drops and it's like, motherfucker, you just met Heisenberg.
And
Like,
Walt
he
says,
just-
yeah, you're going to need me.
Yeah, when Mike looks at him when he gives the address and Walt's just like, yeah. Like, that's so fucking good.
yeah, and
You just got Heisenberg, motherfucker.
You may
And
want to
that's
tell your
proof Mike-
boss he's going to need
He's
me.
gonna
yeah.
need me.
and that's proof Mike doesn't have the fucking. He's not a good guy. He was gonna drop him without hesitation after all this time of working with him.
Yeah, he didn't give a fuck. He,
Yeah.
No,
he follows
it's
orders.
He's got a
Just a
job to
job.
do, and he was always loyal to the job.
Yeah.
And then, of course, that episode ends with a gunshot sound, but you don't actually see what happens because
I love the
It
way
kinda
I love
looks
the
like-
way the camera
yeah.
goes across, like to
because
the
it kind
gun.
of looks like he's moving the gun away, like he's not going to shoot him.
Wouldn't it be hilarious if it misfired?
Yeah, that was like a theory that Jesse like moved his arm, like because it goes to black through the barrel. Great shot, by the way.
Such a fucking cliffhanger.
But
I mean,
but that
Jesse's never gonna not do it because Walt fucking
that's
saved his fucking life and dropped and put two people down.
and
for
that's a
him.
great line. He says, "I saved your life, Jesse. Are you gonna save mine?" That's a great
Yep.
fucking line. And Jesse doing that harkens back to fucking what was it, season 2? Gus says, "I must ask, why him?" He says, "Because he does what I tell him. Because I can trust him." And
Yeah.
right there, Jesse proves it all. Like right there for
And
Walt.
Walt knows how to do just enough to keep like
He's very manipulative.
He
Like,
is.
he rolled up, he rolled up there and did something I didn't expect him to ever do, to, like, save Jesse. And then
for
but
sure.
in Jesse's head, it gave him, like, maybe he did give a fuck about our guys or something.
Because during that moment, everyone's like, what's going to happen? Is Mike going to pull up, put him in his car? Is Walt going to pull up, put him in the Aztec? It's like, oh no, he just ran these fuckers over.
And shot them in the face.
Shot him in the head without hesitation.
Yeah, it was...
Even more than the running them over, like just shooting a guy in cold blood, like...
I definitely think at this point he's fully embraced himself as Heisenberg.
That and then the address, like, it's
Yeah.
ain't Walter White no more.
It's not Walter White. It's so
This is
fucking...
competition
After
now.
season 3, there's really no Walter
Mike,
White.
like, Corey, what's the head shaking?
Oh, I'm agreeing. I was just.
Oh, I thought you were like, oh, you guys suck. I was like, what are we saying wrong? I'm saying too many good things about fucking Walt.
Well, you
Walt's-
are, but
Well, it's a testament to the writing of the show.
Just because I have a poster of Heisenberg over my bed so I can see him. And,
I got a
when you
drawing right
mastur-
over
when you
here.
masturbate.
yeah, he watches over me in my dreams, and I just feel so safe.
Is that the one where he's coming out of the shower?
He's coming out of something. Anyway.
Yeah, just a great end to a fucking season. It's such a testament to the writing that we continue to fucking watch Walt, and we're so like there are moments of sympathy where you're like, maybe I can get back on board, and then he does something else fucking terrible. Maybe I can get back on board, does something else terrible. But it's how good the fucking writing is. You should not want to follow this guy,
Like,
but you
do.
do.
The whole season, he was kind of pathetic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But like half of it, I feel like, and then at the end, he's just like, nah, I've been working. I'm doing.
That's
it's all
it.
according to plan.
That's it. Yeah, you're like, what the fuck's happening? And then out of nowhere, he's like a badass again.
We got a badass over here.
Yeah, just great ending of the season. Obviously, this fucks Jesse up for the rest of the show, but we'll get into that. This really traumatizes Jesse, and it really proves that Jesse is not a fucking killer like the rest of them are. The rest of them literally pull a trigger.
I don't know.
and-
I think we see some scenes that disagree with that later in the series.
Maybe some Mexico scenes
Well,
and some.
after
Yeah. But there are people that fucking. But you can tell the rest of them pull the trigger and they go to bed at night and they don't lose a second of sleep. Jesse's not that person.
Walt hums songs.
I was gonna say Walt even starts whistling and humming songs and shit.
Oh,
afterwards.
He whistles fucking Lily of the Valley.
Yeah, fucked up.
It is fucked
I've
up.
got sunshine on a cloudy day. Pop, pop.
Okay, guys. So that's pretty much going to wrap us up. Before we call it quits and do our plugs and tags and whatnot, let's just go around the horn. Mike, any final thoughts on Breaking Bad Season 3?
All right, so Breaking Bad season 3, what it really boils down to is it's just awesome.
It's just awesome. So, Mike, you're telling people get past episode 2 and it gets better.
Yeah,
I hate that.
only a
Hearing
fucking
get
idiot would
past.
stop watching it after episode
What
2.
a loser!
What a fucking
Fucking
idiot!
What an idiot!
Anyway,
Doug,
I hate to be that guy that stopped at that episode.
Good.
Anyway,
Good. More Breaking Bad for us.
yeah. I think it's you're kind of like pulled in. You see like Walt taking L's, being really breaking down, being pretty fucking pathetic, almost like season 1 level all over again.
Yep.
Jesse seems to like almost surpass him for a period of time in the season. So it really like fucking, you don't know what's going to happen. And then the final 2 episodes go off and you're like, oh no, that Walt's been pulling the strings
Yeah.
in ways that we just didn't see the whole time. And you realize the setup between like Vegeta and Goku are about to fight. Gus versus Walt's coming.
Oh,
You
yeah.
have no idea how it's going to go. It's one of the best build-up seasons of all time.
And one of the best things I think about Walt's character is he's so fucking smart. Like he really does see all these plans coming a mile down the road. He knows what
Yeah.
people are trying to do. But here's the thing. Here's both sides of Walt and Heisenberg. Like when he talks about Gus using Jesse to get to him, he knows. He knows he's not serious about hiring Jesse. He wants Walt. But then Walt still agrees. That just perfectly encapsulates him as a character. Like he saw the plan in motion and he still took the bait. Like that's Walt.
That is hubris.
That's humorous.
That's how high his arrogance is.
Corey, any final words on Breaking Bad Season 3?
It is my 3rd favorite season of the show. It's mostly, honestly, one of my favorite scenes ever in the show is when he runs those dudes over and kills the guy with no hesitation.
No hesitation.
This
So
this
unexpected.
suburban dad who's a scientist just shot the
Hits
dude
him
in
with
the
a
head.
Pontiac Aztec.
Yeah. And then just walks up, shoots the guy, and tells Jesse to run. It's pretty fucked up.
Just think, this season arc starts with him giving a terrible high school speech, and it ends with him fucking running dudes over and getting the best of Gus and Mike.
Was the speech really terrible? I mean, come on.
Well, maybe in time it'll age better.
It's a bit misunderstood. but-
Like, I mean, it was kind of just a shitty speech in general.
yeah.
There were
Oh,
all
yeah.
points that were made.
The points were made.
Trying to be,
But
he's
anyway.
trying to be motivational.
Yeah, we talked about this.
Yeah, Doug, I'll have to consider the points that you made. All right, Corey, and just for the record, your third favorite season of Breaking Bad.
Think about it
Yeah.
that way.
Do you consider it 5 or 6 seasons, Breaking Bad?
5.
Okay, 5. So 5A, 5B is just season 5.
Yep.
Only a loser would think it's 6.
That was just totally all AMC. That wasn't Vince
Well, Mike,
McMahon.
it's not 6 seasons. It's 5A and 5B.
They just wanted to stretch. They just wanted to stretch it out for.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
They don't even, like, if you buy them on DVD or Blu-ray, it says season 5 and then the final season. It doesn't say 6.
You know why they do that? They do that because it's a cash can.
They're like, all right, we got a DEA agent on the shitter. What do we do now? Let's take a year off. To see some of my other stuff, you can always check me out whenever I actually do post videos. I'm inconsistent, guys. Over at Baker Reviews on YouTube, I cover movie reviews, rankings, tier lists. I want to eventually rank the Halloween movies. I got it scripted out. I got to fucking sit down and record it.
I could tell you exactly what all about them. They pick up right where the last one left off.
Wait, all 13 of them?
All 13.
Okay, there you guys go.
Very
All
wrong.
13.
Very wrong.
Very wrong. Yeah, some of them aren't even fucking in the same universe, Mike.
That's true.
But yeah, check out my other stuff on Baker Reviews. I did put a Halloween Ends review out. I'll have rankings come out at some point, a Barbarian review. Corey, you want to let the people know where they can reach us?
On all the social medias. On Facebook, we're Culture Shock Podcast. Instagram, it's Culture Shock 21. And on Twitter, where I hang out most of the time, it's CS Podcast 21. Come on over there and tell us how right we are. I'm not even going to accept wrong on this one. Come over and tell
Especially
us how right
with
we
what
are.
I said.
No.
No.
Debate with me, and I will prove to you how I'm correct in every way.
Doug would probably love that, actually.
Go.
sure.
I'm gonna have to change the password on Twitter. And go go anywhere that you get your podcast. Please rate us 5 stars. Give us a nice little review. That really helps us out a lot. We'd appreciate it.
Yeah, we just got a nice review on Podcast Addict. You guys should all check that out. It's a pretty good one.
It's definitely not Adrian.
Not to sound desperate or anything. Please review us.
Please review us. Please give me a numeric value. All right, everybody, that is going to do it for our Season 3 Breaking Bad extravaganza. Only 2 or 3 episodes to go. We're still deciding how we want to break up 5. And from all of us here at Culture Shocked, thanks for listening.
I'm talking with Ted.